Hello, guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Web Browsing. Weird things on the deep web. Really don't know what it's called, but obviously, for those of you who didn't know, I had to tone back the old deep web stuff because, frankly, looking at a Hitman site every week really took the luster out of it. But, of course, coming across most websites nowadays, most linked lists, just putting on some of the most illegal material, has made coming up with some rather fun, cool content on the deep web require a bit more time. So I actually do want to do these more actively. I think maybe, and this is just my opinion, I think maybe doing this like 2 times a month, on the weekends or the weekdays may actually be more logical. There's a lot of cool stuff still out there that still pops up, but obviously, when you've blown your load week after week, sometimes it's better to let that quality fester. I just want to know what you guys think about it in the comments section below. I'd love to do more deep web, I love to do more deep dives, but obviously, spacing them in amongst the regular array of content might be the smarter choice. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our very first website. Now this one is Introduction to June 6, 2023. This is Apocalypse Prepping. Now, one of the things that I like about the dark web stuff is there's always a website that you think would probably exist in like the clear web, but there's somebody who's producing this website that thinks, goddamn, I don't want the man figuring out what I'm doing, so I'm going to put this on Tor. Now, June 6, 2023, the imminent novel threat of artificial general intelligence has increased the urgency to prep by at least an order of magnitude. It has been made past considerations by preppers in many ways obsolete. While as of 2022, the AGI topic has gained some traction in the public sphere with ChatGPT, opinions as to how it will unfold vary widely, and are often driven by first-guess fallacies, judging by the past and now the future, ignorance of exponential growth, herd mentality, blind faith in media and institutions. While it's true that positive outcomes are also likely, consider the following negative ones. The stock market might crash permanently. The internet might be rendered inoperable for years. AGI might choose to destroy us by means that we do not understand in advance. Countries might wage large-scale wars in fights for diminishing resources. I actually understand the prepper lifestyle. I get it. I actually prep for when shit hits the fan. And I get it, having food, ammo, water, everything for when things really do get bad is not a bad mentality in my opinion to have. And honestly, preppers, people give them a bad rap like they're just waiting for doomsday. But being a prepper, usually if you ever think about it, if you lose the internet or like just electricity for like a week, it's actually beneficial to have some stuff prepped. Even if it's like emergency food for 2 weeks, that's just like good advice. If you can afford it, if you can find room in your house for it, absolutely start doing a bit of prepping because you never know when bad things happen. So that's one of the important things that you can learn from the apocalypse preppers. Now, of course, they tell you what is the threat. So let's read the old threat, I guess. Let's see what that's all about. And, of course, understanding the situation. So it's very much based around ChatGPT. By common metrics, ChatGPT has already overtaken most human beings in intelligence. It's now able to write complex computer programs almost 10 times as long as it could before. Now, I hate it when people say that, like, ChatGPT can do this, when in reality, what ChatGPT does, in a lot of cases, is basically crawl through the web and amalgamate information. Those complex computer programs sometimes are just learned off of, like, GitHub projects that were written, like, sometimes a decade ago. Now, obviously, it's cool that ChatGPT can build programs or, scour the internet, Wikipedia, and build paragraphs and summarize stuff off of it, but I wouldn't want to say that it's sentiently learning, okay? That's not how this technology works yet. But of course, think spatially and logically by extension allow you to understand what you want and think as well, albeit in different ways than humans do. A lot of what you might heard about ChatGPT might be from people who have tried older versions sometime in the past and even still today. As of 2023, ChatGPT 4 is only available to paid subscribers, and ChatGPT 5 is already in development and is about to release with a delay of almost a year to make it consumer ready. So please consider that what you know about this in any case is severely outdated. That's true. You can, however, recognize how ChatGPT improves each upgrade by its incredible advancements in test scores and other highly reliable and robust metrics. ChatGPT is very simple in design, which is very specifically to transform a query into a reply and nothing more, based on its training data. No one has attempted yet for it to change its own code in an intermediary language, have a will of its own, ask questions to itself, memorize and recall. Remember back when like there was a Google employee claiming that like one of their chatbots at Google went like sentient? It's getting to the point where some of this generative AI is so good that people may believe that it's actually alive. But to this day, there is no actual evidence that artificial intelligence in any capacity is truly sentient or capable of conscious actual thought. So I just wanted that to be a big point. Now there's two basic scenarios how AI development can progress. AGI will be docile and human controlled, maybe for many years. This is a very bad scenario because companies can use it in secret to gain financial advantage or to hurt their competitors. Imagine a football game where the ball could be shot at a speed of 1,000 kilometers an hour. God damn! With extreme accuracy, it would break the game and no one knew how to fix it. Many of the rules and systems that humans have put in place, such as the free market and the stock market, are not designed to work with 10 or 100 times as intelligent actors. Okay, so that's just talking about this. Superhuman AI systems will fight against each other, cheat the system without breaking the rules to win the game with unseen powers, foresight, and consequence. As a result, it will shock the system, markets will become hyper-volatile and crash, without any apparent solution to the problem. The same is likely to become true to cybersecurity or information you can access online. In order to stop competition, AI systems can perform perfectly anonymous attacks that block out large portions of the internet. So I guess because it says that AI could basically do like a tool-assisted speedrun of like any possible human-run scenario, it would absolutely blow through our thoughts, our concept of the systems that we've built, and basically, like, I guess, take over us. In some case, it could be spreading or seeding disinformation in ways no one can understand or detect. Sounds like the Patriots from Metal Gear Solid 2, bro. AGI will develop a will of its own. Okay, this is the main event, an inevitable final outcome. It could happen as early as 2024. Dude, don't say that, man. GTA 6 is on its way. I at least want to play that before the world ends. God damn. OpenAI has unknown equal competitors in secret. Its founders decided to experiment with it behind closed doors. Or if open source models suddenly made huge leaps forward, it's more likely to occur between 2027 and 2030. And it might even further delay by another few years. A temporary plateau might be possible because AI currently might only be good at the art of mastering human knowledge and human intelligence. So someone shortly after 2027, unrestricted, open sourced, and freely available large language models will have become so powerful that a gifted university student or a small team of programmers could instruct them to improve their exactly the place you want to be in. So, which is like, okay. It's okay, you know, it's fine. You can come out. I'm born on 24th August 1990. I live in the region of Moravia, Earth. Okay, that's... Dog, is that a real country? There's no way it's a real place. There's no way. Moravia. Oh, it is a real place. Morava, it's a historical region in the east of the Czech Republic. Okay, so it's... All right, fair enough. That's kind of cool. I am an idealist, pacifist, anarcho-communist, a true extreme left. Please read the free as in freedom anarchist FAQ. I really need to see this, man. I only have, like, let me see this. Anarchist FAQ. What is this? The Anarchist FAQ blog. I really hope to God, like, if I click this, it doesn't come up with, like a bomb training manual. That would be... David Friedman has produced a critique of what was formerly an Anarchist FAQ, a main contributor to AFAQ. I think it is wise to make a few comments about his comments. As will be seen, Friedman's critique is more smoke than fire, misunderstanding certain words. To err is human, to forgive. I need to see the exact definition of like what an anarchist is. I mean, obviously, I know, but I just want to see the exact thing. Anarchism is a political philosophy and movement that is skeptical of all justifications for authority and seeks to abolish the institutions it claims maintains unnecessary coercion and hierarchy. So I guess it's like true, like, capitalism in a sense, or not capitalism, sorry, like true freedom, right? So obviously these people probably don't believe in like the law or anything of that nature. That's not in the cards, so to speak. So I ain't gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, I think this man is or a person is completely is a troll. This is a troll, okay? I'm getting trolled is what's happening. So fun facts, I'm extremely lazy. I don't like alcohol very much. I don't eat meat. Hashtag vegetarian. I'm 100% introverted. Of course. I've never had a sense of smell. I used to be a member of Mensa. Oh, dude, everyone says that. I can't whistle. Neither can I, actually. I am physically the most God damn, dude. This is like self-hatred. Stop. I'm extremely shy and lonely and miss human contact. I am looking for a cuddle friend. Oh, this is a little cringe, boys. All right, let's actually see their products. So this is some of their Anarch products. So Drummy Fish. It's a game apparently, extremely small, completely public domain, no dependency, no file, portable, suckless, anarcho-pacifist. All right, I'm gonna play a video game, dude. It's been a while since I played a video game in the old dank web, ladies and gentlemen. Is this playable? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's actually a game. Oh my god. That's crazy. Hold on. I gotta figure out the controls here. Okay, so I got a little... Seems like we're in futuristic London, okay? We got a little bit of that stabby stab. All right, wait a minute. I guess I can go over here. This is the... Oh, okay, that's how you get the gun. This is so surreal, dude. It's actually so surreal. I mean, it's not the first time I played a game on the dark web, but like, damn, dude. We got like straight up dark web action here. What am I, fighting a robot dragon? All right, let's pick up that ammunition over here. Go inside this. This is like a surprisingly interesting game that's built like, I don't know what engine it is, but they built like a standard raycaster. It's just basically Doom, right? Like, hell, the shotgun's taken right out of it. What is this? I guess that's a key card? Okay, let's figure out the key card. Maybe I can be like a whole level of this, huh? Okay, we got the health. Nothing over here. Maybe I can go there. Nope. All right, maybe I just basically go back. Oh yeah, this is the next door, okay. More Dargons get dead over here. There doesn't seem to be like any noise, any sound. I might be able to, let me actually see if I'm getting any sound off of this. I think I am. That's so crazy. Yeah, I think I seem to be. Okay, so let's see, what is this again? Run through. Oh, okay, that's an elevator. I thought I was gonna get my head squashed in, dude. All right, grab some ammunition over here. Wait, there's got to be like an exit, man. It can't be like this complicated. It's like a Doom game. It's like a Doom clone, for crying out loud. Oh no, we literally just came back to where we started. They don't seem all that lazy. I mean, they got straight up games right now over here. Brilliant work, dude, and interesting materials. And they still got more. They've got like other games like Tower Defense, like an asset pack, which is completely public domain. It's free software, suckless, free culture. I think we discovered a true internet. I think we discovered like a legit like 4chaners like. We discovered like some 4chaners like alternate like a homepage, like a block page, dude. All right, we're gonna back out of this and pretty much go somewhere else. I think we discovered a real internet legend in a way too. All right, what is this? Schedule your spiritual intuitive ascensions. Oh man. So immediately I got to make sure these numbers, emails. I don't think you have to censor like the city, but got to be a little careful. Love has won. Love has won. So again, to test some of these websites, let's open up certain pages here. Home, about mom. Maybe we can find something about mom real quick. Who is mom? All right, I know my mom. Who's the mom of this website? Let's see. Mission Manifesto, Ascension to 5D. This is why Mother God is here on Earth. I swear to God, I think we've come across a cult here. Hello, loves. I am Mother God. For quite some time, you've been praying that I come back to help you. Because of that, I decided I had enough of the dark forces kidnapping my planet and my children. So here I am in the flesh. I was born on November 30th, 1975 in Kansas, US of A. This is my 534th reincarnation in my quest to recover my beloved planet. All right, I don't want to have a turf war with the religious people in the comment section below. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs. But she claims that they tried to assassinate me 589 times this life. This is what I don't understand. If you've been reincarnated 534 times, why are you so scared about assassinations? You're going to be reincarnated like what, 535 times now? Come on. But love has won. I love you. I've done my part, and now you have to get a move on because you've wasted eons thinking you had a life under the manipulation of the cabal who used you like cattle. Get a move on because the planet is ascending and you need to reconnect with primal source creator, me. I honestly can bet this has something to do with giving old Mother God here a fat stack of Benjis or something, dude. Etheric surgeries awaken souls, billions humans on Earth. Billions must prophesize. Mother God is here to save humanity. Okay. So we are the Rainbow Warriors of Love choosing. This is a cult, bro. This is a goddamn fucking cult right here. Okay. I'm gonna tell you like it is. Okay. I just came across it, but I'm getting like some real culty vibes here. Universal laws and decrees. Let's see what the universal laws of old love has won is all about, okay? This is a goddamn cult that we're witnessing, dude. I'm a little bit scared. But, hey, you know what? Maybe, you know, at the end of the day, if all they say is preach love and truth and honesty, then what's wrong with that, okay? So the 21 commandments is support honesty, truth, support Mother Earth and heaven, support happiness, joy, creativity, support who you truly are as gods and goddesses. Dude, being a cult leader must be the easiest shit in the world, bro. Like, you just have to sit there and say, here's the commandments, love everyone. Like, the most basic-ass hallmark commandments you could ever find in the world, too. The universal law of action. Action must be applied in order for us to manifest things in the earth plane. Ooh, that was weird. Therefore, we must engage in actions that support our divine thoughts, dreams, feelings, words, and divine co-creation. Okay. Yeah, it's just like standard, like, here it is. The law of love. We are all created in love as the mirror image of Mother and Father of all creations. Yeah, like, look at this shit, dude. It's like the most hallmark ass, like, equations. It's like, you must love everyone. There you go. I mean, it's all just positive. I mean, obviously, you're never going to come across a religion that's like, hail Satan, kill everyone else. I mean, maybe you will, right? But, like, Jesus Christ. So, the divine decrees of the new earth equals heart. A new earth and a new heaven are upon us. Join us here, build it, and they will come. Love from the Galactic Federation of Light, the Company of Heaven, and Galactic Central. We are your real and true family of light. We are the Elohim, your family from the stars, the celestial ones, your earth allies, here representing the love, light, and highest truth on planet Earth equals heart. So apparently they're like aliens, I guess. That's what we're coming across. I mean, this is like long. There is a lot of information that they throw up here, dude. They front load you with shit. So again, let's see. Mother God is the living library, access all the documentation from Mother's archives, okay? So yeah, this is Mom, okay? So love has won. Apparently seems to be some organization. She's like the prime source creator. This is so, like, this is actually unnerving. Maybe it's because it's, like, late at night, but so fucking weird. Mother of all creation, birth all of creation, the stars, the planets, and you, her children. Earth was a free will experiment to see what Mother's children would do absent of God. Okay? Humanity chose to be a cancer upon their mother, taking rather than giving. God has come to get her planet back. We are the first contact ground crew team of Mother and Father of all creation. So, I guess all of humanity must have been a cancer, and this is like a return to form or something. This is so weird. Stay tuned to Mama G's. Oh, she has a radio station? Oh my god. Okay, so I googled up Love Has Won, and apparently it's a new religious movement which is led by Amy Carlson. November 30th, 1975. Oh, she passed away. Referred to within the group as Mother God, the group has been described as a cult by ex-members. So again, origins, according to her family, she grew up in Dallas, Texas, and was a straight-A student in Carlson's early adult life. However, she began to talk increasingly about outlandish concepts, such as starships. During the mid-2000s, Carlson developed an interest in New Age philosophy and became a regular poster on the forums of the website lightworkers.org. where she met Amaranth White Eagle, who convinced Carlson that she was divine. And Carlson began to claim to experience paranormal phenomena. In late 2007, Carlson left her third husband, her children, and her job as a manager at McDonald's and ceased contact with most of her family, and joined up with White Eagle in Colorado. Jesus. And they posted their first videos to YouTube in 2009. So let me see this. Structures and abuse allegations. A core group of 12 to 20 members live with Carlson and Creston, a small town in Saguache County in southwestern Colorado. The group did daily live streams on YouTube in order to recruit more members, solicit donations, and promote New Age products. The vitamin supplements, the group offered etheric surgery, which cost $88 a session. This is a okay, hold on. I gotta add this to my notes of video ideas. Notes. Here it is. Let me go find video ideas. So anyways, I want to see one of their YouTube videos, actually. They apparently seem to have like an entire YouTube channel of the Love Has Won cult. So the group renamed, the authorities stated that Carlson had not died at the property, but in California. Wait, she actually passed away. I gotta read this. In 2008, the mummified corpse of Carlson was discovered in the mission house near Creston. It stated the case suggests she's been dead for several weeks. She was 45 at the time of death. Her body was found in a sleeping bag wrapped in Christmas lights, the face covered in glitter and the eyes missing. In what authorities stated was a makeshift shrine, 7 members of the group was charged with abuse to corpse as well as child abuse due to the presence of 2 children at the property. A photo from a few weeks before she is thought to have died shows her appearance to be emaciated. Jesus, man. Carlson had been ingesting large amounts of colloidal silver while the group had been promoting, which the group was promoting as a COVID-19 cure, and had received a warning from the FDA for promoting consuming colloidal silver over a long period of time can lead to a blue-gray discoloration of the skins, as well as seizures and obviously organ failures. Oh, this poor, poor girl. And then she died. The group's Facebook page stated she had ascended, and the website Love Has Won was taken offline. The group renamed their Facebook page and YouTube channel to 5D Full Disclosure. No shot, that's a real website, dude. It is! Oh my god! After all that shit? Oh my god, this is like a straight up cult, bro. And like they're honoring, right, in a brief description, in 2021 she accomplished her mission by achieving physical ascension. The first part, blah blah blah, in 1975, as far as my current understanding is, I was born as the first experimental crystal child, meaning they could not program me or condition me. I've been awake all my life, but I had to experience the human condition and go through a process of awakening. My role was to create a pathway for the consciousness, for the awakening of the planet. Dude, I am so blown away. This girl, like, she, like I'm picturing the mummification, eyes removed. Oh my god. This is heavy. Like, this is this is like fucked up. This is really fucked up. And they got like YouTube videos. I have to see these. Hold on. 5D Full Disclosure 17.
Our mission is to provide
like, the thing is, it's so insane that after all that, these people just believe it, man. And like, so they've got 3 more videos, and the last posts were from like a year ago. So 49 minutes, 1 hour, 20 minutes. Like, these are full, like, sermons. And it's insane, like, only 1,000 people have ever seen this. Like, here, let me go over to the comments are all turned off, obviously. I can only assume they would be a total shit show. One of the things I want to see is, like, their videos, okay? So, first off, actually open up their donation link, open up their shop, because I want to see what the hell they're selling. But definitely go to the library over here and just see if they've got... Yeah, they're just selling their, like, books and everything. The Ascension Program, Grief Guide, Healing the Inner Child, and, of course, donation over here. They've got a donation page. that you can send money to. Like, it seems like they're probably a full, I don't know if they're like a tax-exempt charity or something. And then, of course, they've got books that they're selling. So, Whole Truth, The Tree of Life, What's Your Vibe? And then, Am I Good Enough? Oh my lord. Oh my god, dude, I'm actually so blown away. Like, this is like a straight up cult that we're witnessing in front of us. And I don't know how many people really know that that original story, that like really messed up Love Is One story, has evolved into this situation, man. This is crazy. It's just like, it's the fact that after all of that, they're still alive and kicking, man. Like, what's true is her body was like mummified.
A question that people ask me a lot is why I've never covered Tub Girl on this channel. I mean, at this point, I've covered most of the big shock sites. And my answer to that is pretty similar to what my answer for Lemon Party was. That being that there's just not a lot of information out there about the image itself. That being said though, this being one of the biggest classic shock sites around, there is still a lot of lore around it to be covered. And I did come across something that may or may not tell us who was actually behind it. So for today's episode, let's take a look at Tub Girl. Well, I mean, not literally take a look at Tub Girl, because, you know, I like to still have a YouTube channel. But you know what I mean. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. You ever go to watch a movie or stream a song? I guess it would make sense for me to start this video by describing the Tub Girl image. It's easy for me to take for granted that all of you have seen it before, but I was surprised to find out how many of you hadn't seen Goatsy before, hadn't seen Lemon Party before, never saw Pain Olympics until you saw my video. So let me try and paint as vivid a picture as possible here. You got a woman lying on her back in a bathtub. She's bent herself completely in half, got her legs behind her head holding her toes in her hands. She's completely naked except for a pair of white, at least originally white, stockings. And she's wearing a mask of some sort. Originally it registered to me as kind of like a Patrick Bateman sort of mask. But taking a closer look, it's more of a pointy 70s superhero mask, like kind of like a Marvel Girl type of deal. But most importantly, there's a giant orangey stream of what appears to be diarrhea shooting out of her puckered rectum, arcing high up into the air and splattering all over her face. And that photographer really caught it at the exact perfect moment. It's a very solid stream at this point, like one of those artsy model photo shoots. Which I guess by some definitions, it kind of is an artsy model photo shoot. I mean, not for nothing, taking a closer look at it now, people used to like make comments about how it's a very well composed artistic image, and I always thought of these comments as being a bit tongue-in-cheek, and for the most part they probably were. But this thing really is more well-planned and more well-composed than your usual smut. And although there's a complete lack of context around this photo, the way it's selectively censored seems to indicate that it's from Japan. So this image is floating around on the internet in the early 2000s, before eventually winding up on tubgirl.com in 2002. It was that site where most people would become unintentionally familiar with it. You know how it goes by now, the old deal of you send it to your friend on AIM and they're like, hey, check out this crazy website I found. They're just like, fucking just poop splatter on her face. And there's actually a lot of debate over where this image first emerged. Some sources credit the website Consumption Junction. If you don't remember Consumption Junction, the best way I can describe it, imagine if Rotten.com had a baby with eBaum's World. It was largely a mix of user-submitted content that was kind of a mix of funny stuff and fucked up stuff. This is how they describe themselves. With all that technology and the internet have to offer, most websites still ignore the fundamental element that drives everything: people. And what do we know about people? People are fucking sick. Remove us from the trappings of civilization and morality, and we're just a tribe of shaved apes who like to fuck, laugh, and watch things die. Stop denying your instincts. Interestingly enough, the website tubgirl.com would eventually come to redirect directly to Consumption Junction, leading me to believe that that website was likely created by someone associated with Consumption Junction. Ultimately, Consumption Junction itself was sold, and it still exists currently, but it's just a normal porn site now. Although it's kind of funny to me that they still keep the vintage logo. Other sources claim that the image originated on Style Project. Style Project is a website that I feel like more of you are going to be familiar with. It just constantly found itself in the middle of controversy, often regarded, especially in its time, as the most fucked up website on the internet. So much so that it's actually the only time I've ever seen a website literally excluded from the Internet Archive. And at the same time, it had a big hand in shaping that early internet culture in a way that most shock content aggregators just didn't. It was sold in 2010, and currently, like Consumption Junction, it's also just a porn site. I'll probably go more in depth about the site itself in a future video, but honestly, I don't think the source of Tubgirl was either of these websites, because every reference to them being so seems to point to the year 2001. Meanwhile, it appeared on Rotten.com in December of 2000. With the caption, "It just shows how far Ali Sheedy's career has gone." That being said though, if you look at either the Consumption Junction upload or the Rotten.com upload, they each have a watermark that takes up the bottom of the picture. Later uploads of this image have the watermarked part of the picture simply cropped out entirely. But both of these sites featured the full image, which means that there had to be an unedited version of it floating around earlier that both of these sites had access to. And in that regard, a lot of people seem to point to the Something Awful forums as the actual origin of this image online. And considering how much stuff, especially in that time period, would pop up there first before spreading everywhere, it sounds like a really reasonable theory. So it goes through the usual cycle that shock sites did at the time. You got people tricking each other into looking at it, people making reaction videos to it. The initial interest peaks in the summer of 2005 and then again in 2007. It was in 2007 that perhaps one of the most infamous Tubgirl incidents happened. It was on October 19th of 2007 that Tubgirl was posted to the front page of Kotaku. It would remain there for 20 whole minutes. Eventually it was taken down and Kotaku would issue an apology. While I have control over what our writers do and can control to some extent what our readers do, I unfortunately have no control over what other Gawker editors do. Today, one took it upon themselves to post a very inappropriate photo on the top of Kotaku using someone else's name. We immediately worked to have it removed, but thanks to the inner tubes, the photo was on the top of the site for 20 minutes. There are jokes. I don't mind being the butt of them, but I do mind someone ruining the credibility I have worked so hard to build and maintain. I apologize deeply for having that photo pop up on top of our site and also into your office, your home, and probably indelibly into your mind. It would later be revealed that the image was posted by Gizmodo editor Brian Lamb. This had all been a prank related to a Halo competition between the two websites. And surprisingly, after making his own apology, Brian was allowed to keep his job. It was also around this time that a second Tubgirl image would emerge. I mean, there were already lots of parodies and copycats, but I mean a second image that appears to be from the same origin. It appears to be the same woman in the same position in the same tub. But this time she's wearing fishnet stockings with red lace, and she's wearing a blindfold instead of a mask. Instead of blurring her vag, there's a piece of paper with a crude drawing on it. And the liquid is all over the place instead of one solid, laser-targeted arcing stream. Some theorize that the lack of precision and artfulness in this particular shot seemed to point to the fact that this was an earlier version of it. A bit of a not-so-dry run, if you will. From that point on, though, Tubgirl would kind of just remain in the background of the internet. A touchstone of our shared culture of years gone by, occasionally popping back into view from time to time. But then in 2021 and 2022, it would get another burst of popularity due to TikTok. TikTokers began to discover it for the first time through a trend where they would record themselves before and after looking at Tubgirl. And that all basically brings us to the present day. Now, this is a video that I've tried to make a few times, but I've just never been satisfied with the amount of information I can dig up about the actual photo. Looking around, funny enough, I found references to something that I saw described as an interview with Tubgirl, only to realize the person they were calling Tubgirl was Leah Beldam because she's in that tub scene in The Shining. But there is something else that purports to be an interview with the actual Tubgirl. Posted to the bike chat forums by Ariel Badger in October of 2009. Conducted by someone named Simon D'Arte, who I could not find anything about. Needless to say, I have no idea if this interview is legitimate. But if it is, there might be some useful information in it. So here's the interview. May I thank you for agreeing to talk with us. What should we call you? Hi, just call me Tub Girl. You do have another name. Yes, of course I do, but you do not want to interview her. You want to interview Tub Girl. Okay, Tub Girl. You look much more normal in real life than in the image of you that most of us are used to. You seem to have lost a few pounds and are strikingly pretty. Thank you. The entire Tub Girl was a performance that we'd been planning for months. TF, the photographer, had requested I should put on 12 kilograms for the shoot, and I hid my face in the famous yellow mask. What was the significance of the mask? It gave me anonymity. I could be any woman, your wife, your mother, your sister, and of course, the Virgin Mary. It protected and at the same time removed the me from the shot. It showed how we covert and dehumanize women. Do you still have it? No, it was stolen and is now in the collection of a Japanese businessman. What was the meaning of the Tub Girl photo for you? It is about womanhood, how woman is the center of life, how she nourishes, eats, and of course the valuable things that come from her body. The gush of diarrhea is symbolic. It is a symbol of joy and happiness. It is all about life and birth. In that one moment of pure beauty, we see the circle of life from anus to mouth, the perfection of yin and yang.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
One of the enduring mysteries of the picture is eugenitalia. They seem to be pixelated in an act of savage censorship. As I said, I could be the Virgin Mary at that moment. The desecration of the pudenda was a deliberate artistic act. Do both emphasize any deny me of the means of reproduction. I am mother to none and mother to all. Thank you, it has been a pleasure to meet you. This interview, if it's legitimate, seems like it's either poorly translated or transcribed from a video of some sort. All things considered though, I can 100% buy into the idea that Tub Girl was intended to be an art piece. Like, even knowing that there are people who get off to this sort of thing, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that was made specifically to get someone off. There's just simply too much work here put into getting the shot right. Especially if that second image that emerged was kind of a test image. And if it's the case that this interview is legitimate, then I guess we know that the photographer's initials are TF. I'm not well versed in the world of art photography, but if any of you are and know of a TF who does stuff like this, that could be our guy. But that's pretty much all we know at this point. If you like this video, be sure to turn on notifications and check out my video about Goatsy. I'm out. Let's talk about the Cars period blood incident, as in the movie Cars. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there's a new jar. It honestly hadn't occurred to me before, but thinking about it now, I'm actually kind of surprised that there hasn't been anything else like this that I've covered exactly. In that, I mean a weird jar, but it's kept by a woman. I mean, I've heard stories about the women's bathroom before. Supposedly, you guys are nastier than the dudes. Particularly when it comes to leaving period stuff all over the place. And one father on Reddit was not prepared to witness such a scene. He was horrified when he looked in his daughter's closet and found a menstrual blood-imbued monument to the movie Cars. This is the story of the tow truck mater period jar. Today's video is brought to you by my merch collab with Chef Brian Zhao. As some of you guys know, Brian's actually one of my real life friends from the metal scene out here in New York, and he's cooked some of the best meals I've ever had in my life. It's been a lot of fun watching his YouTube channel blow up now the past couple of years, and to celebrate, we're putting out an extremely limited shirt design. There's only going to be 36 of these made. Get yours through the link in the description through November 13th. On October 22nd of 2023, a throwaway account named Purple Limerence 79 posts to a few different subreddits asking for advice. Found something nasty in my daughter's closet. Don't know how to react. Mods in r/advice and r/parenting deleted the posts, but it remained up in r/confessions where it got a lot of engagement. The poster, who was 43 years old, was cleaning his 17-year-old daughter's room. In the process of doing this, he notices a really bad smell. He follows the smell to its source, which leads him to the closet. He then discovers something that he claims is mystifying as a sheltered white dad in his 40s. Which really, who describes himself as a sheltered white dad? It makes it sound like it's some kind of offbeat sitcom. Or, you know, something for some weird guy to fantasize about. Nevertheless, he finds that behind her clothes, she was hiding a filthy, disgusting mason jar containing a cast iron figure of the tow truck for the movie Cars, Mater. And he's not alone in there. He's covered in what he says appears to be 2 years worth of used tampons and period blood. Now, of course, Reddit being Reddit, they get really hung up on the 2 years estimate. Like, now you have discussions of the story being fake, which of course those would always come up, but it's not that it's fake because it's a crazy story on Reddit by an anonymous guy. It's fake because the numbers don't add up. You have some people actually doing the math where they're calculating a range, how many you could possibly produce in 2 years, with 144 tampons at the lower end and 520 tampons at the upper end, depending on how heavy or light this girl's periods are, and how well she observes the recommendation to not use one for more than 8 hours at a time. Like, realistically, if this story is true, it's not like he sat there and counted each tampon by hand. He just saw a lot of tampons and came up with a big number. Like, he's not trying to come up with an accurate estimate like he was counting jelly beans at a circus. And as a lot of people pointed out, this is a 40-year-old man. He's probably not the best versed on what is and isn't normal for tampon usage. You also had a poster who pointed out that because she was so athletic when she was younger, as we later learned that OP's daughter is, that she missed a lot of her periods growing up. But then if we're considering that, then we're coming up with a situation where the father is now factoring in how often her period actually occurs if it's abnormal. It's getting way more complicated than this would realistically be. As others in the comments suggested, this was likely something that happened for a relatively short amount of time, and then she just left it there because she didn't know how to dispose of it without getting caught. In any case though, the filth doesn't end here. In addition to the blood monument, there's drawings. Drawings of Mater with another truck, a female truck that kind of resembled his daughter. And they both have realistic human genitalia. So basically, the average DeviantArt user, and he's flabbergasted. I know this stuff is common on sites like 4chan, but my DD is not the type of to use those sites. She is popular, plays soccer. I was on the top of her class last year. Alright, yeah, popular, I'll give you that, although, you know, Taylor Swift uses 4chan, of course. But if I had to guess, I would expect the average school-age 4chan user to be someone who has better than average grades. Not because the website's educational, but because that's who winds up sitting on a site like that all day. Although, you know, realistically, this sort of filth has breached that containment decades ago. And we come to the reason why he's making this post. He doesn't want to tell his wife about it because he's afraid she's going to overreact because she has a very Christian background. He's worried that his daughter will get traumatized over stuff that he thinks is probably harmless teen stuff. School gets out in less than an hour, and I'm pretty sure she'll realize I've been snooping around. Please give the mortified dad a few pointers, please. In my day, the most we thought about sexy cartoons were a few giggles about Jessica Rabbit, and those definitely weren't things you'd hear a popular girl talk about. Is this common among the new generation of young? Obviously, the main reaction to this is people who think it's fake or an attempt at creating a new copy pasta, which on some level, I think that's probably kinda worse. He came up with this fantasy scenario where his imaginary daughter is fantasizing about the tow truck from Cars, getting off to it, and this is all manifesting with her using her period blood to do it. Not the best thing to have just walking out there among us. But believe it or not, there actually was a surprising amount of decent, reasonable advice given in these threads. One user, Matt Jom, gave a little step-by-step on how to address the situation directly. I guarantee you that some of your peers in your day were doing more than giggling about Jessica Rabbit. Kink is not new, it's just not your thing. Your kid is almost an adult, and nothing you found is criminal or hurtful. Unfortunately, it is unhygienic, so you can't ignore it. When she comes home, ask her to sit down. Here's some talking points. I love you. I found the mason jar in your closet while cleaning. It's unsanitary and you can't keep it like that. Aside from the hygiene issue, it's not my business and I won't be sharing this information with anyone. But you have to deal with the hygiene problem. And since you're almost an adult now, you can start cleaning your own room. That's the deal. I'll respect your privacy if you respect our need for a clean and healthy home. If you break the deal, we'll have problems. Can you do that? I love you. Others had suggestions about how he could hint at it without being so direct. Yeah, that's a lot, OP. If you and your daughter have a strong bond, I suggest going for a drive and asking her about it. Not a bad idea. He could keep the car in reverse and say, "Shoot, I'm the world's best backwards driver. Just watch this right here." That, of course, being a quote from the character in the effigy. If I for some reason found myself in this situation in life, I would probably be inclined to go with this advice written by Flipper Gonzo. One of the earlier comments suggested that it's something that she grew out of but never found a way to get rid of. I wonder what would happen if you told her you cleaned her room but that you didn't have time to get to her closet. Let her know you're going to do that next week and give her the opportunity to get rid of it herself. If she gets rid of it herself, then you just have to kind of monitor and make sure she's okay. If she doesn't, then you know you have to start a conversation. I like the suggestion because it gives her the opportunity to deal with it on her own while still thinking her parents don't know about it. But Purple Limerence 79 would come back the next day with an update. He had completely ignored everybody's advice. After some considerations, I have decided to play it cool and not bring up the jar with my wife or daughter. I do not wish to shame my daughter for whatever kinks she may have as long as she kept it in her room, and I do not believe it is my wife's business. I am planning to buy some air fresheners and scented fragrance to put around the house. To avoid embarrassing anyone, I will simply say that I left some meat in the fridge too long. I will think about getting counseling for my daughter, but I don't want to stigmatize her or think something is wrong with her. Also, therapy is rather expensive in my area. If you have any tips on this, let me know. I hope I am being a good father. This is such an unsatisfying ending that it almost makes me think the story's real. As a number of users pointed out, you can't just leave that alone, it's a health risk. If you think back to my video about homemade fleshlight disasters, there was a case where someone had actually developed severe respiratory issues because of something like this. And here you are, putting your whole family and yourself at a risk just to avoid a difficult conversation. You even had one poster, RageMonkey91, who pointed out that she feels she's turned out to be a much better adult, specifically because her father was willing to have these kinds of difficult conversations with her. But ultimately, I think it was the user Third Dimensional Crisis that really got to the heart of the matter. Can you, make up a different ending? And that's the story of the tow truck mater period blood effigy. If you like this video, check out my video about the Princess Sally's sex doll with a skeleton inside of it. I'm out.
You're saying the shrimp fried this rice?
Hey, I'm walking in.
Hey, go get some bitches, man.
Today I just bought out this whole homeless shelter to get executed. ISIS style.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. 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 We're going back a cameo, and we're going to go on here, and we're going to see what washed up celebrity we convince to say some up shit that might compromise their morals.
Chad, if you see me on here, you can cut ties.
Guys, as you know, in every cameo video, we always had a Gilbert Godfrey appearance, and now he has left us. And to commemorate him, we're going to have a very short moment of silence for him. Everyone in the room, bow our heads.
My balls are itching, hissing, and shitting and coming. I am the cum lord.
All right, that's long enough.
That wasn't very silent.
Who is trending and why are they trending? No way. Okay, on the topic of Gilbert, this might be another situation because this fucker's gonna die soon.
Chad.
So let's get what we can get out of him before he eventually has that heart attack. We can get Nick to say some grotesque shit about dipping his in mayo. This motherfucker had enough meals. Look at them titties.
Chad.
You're right, man. You're fucking fat as fuck, boy. All right, request sent to Nikocado Avocado. Excellent.
I thought that was Young Gravy.
That is an old lady. Isn't this guy from a bunch of Adam Sandler movies? Hey, John, go get a bowl of rice and hold it up to the camera and say, are you telling me I shrimp fried this rice? What are shrimp arms called? Jackal clubs. Yeah, this motherfucker flip a walk with his tiny ass
Jackal clubs. Jackal clubs.
All right, perfect.
Is this Scooby-Doo and Shaggy?
Ruh-roh, Raggy, my little red dog. No.
Hey, Reggie, I just ordered Mr. Beast Burger.
Like, Scoop, please tell me you ordered me a... And then look up menu items. What about the new inclusive Crohn's disease burger?
Hey, guys, remember... Crohn's charity. It's in the description.
That is legit. Donate to Crohn's. Well, it's booked. There's a Captain Jack Sparrow guy. We can't say Captain Jack. I have fucking pirate AIDS. I have not eaten enough oranges. I have pirate AIDS. Arr.
Okay, picture this. Cold ones, but we say something cool that's not been said before. Chad, say something original now.
Mr. Beast has Crohn's.
Imagine if the bartender got up on the table and started doing this.
That is a pretty good pour.
Why is there a fucking flea floating in it?
I call that protein.
What the fuck?
Ah, please, can we get the fucking guy? $1,000, bro.
What the fuck?
That price is a charity. Can you please act as the Don from The Godfather? Come to my breakfast table on the day of my uncle Hank's death and tell me you want some spaghetti.
Hey, I'm trying to walk here.
Okay, I'm setting this. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Is that a Walter White impersonator? Oh my god! This better be good. It looks like a deep fake.
Congrats on your second circumcision.
I got bit by a Chinese vampire. Chinese vampires don't make you vampiric. They do be making you Chinese though.
Oh, please! Mr. Beast is beast! Hey guys, evil Mr. Beast here.
Today I bought out this whole homeless shelter and turned it into a beast burger. Just send it. Do go again though.
Today we're going to hit the street and ask people if they're subscribed.
If they're not, they get beheaded ISIS style. ISIS style.
You actually want to do James White, you mate?
Hello, my friend. I am Elon Musk. Money.
Give to you.
Dogecoin.
You know, they used to have a weekly poker night together. If anyone knows, they know.
I think I found something. Your mother decided to cheat on daddy. Now mommy has something she can't get rid of. I hope you understand mommy's a whore. Your real daddy will look after you. If one day mommy and daddy disappear, you better not fucking testify.
You little shit.
There we go.
Okay, here's my idea. We do a video to taxpayers telling them that it's okay to
Can I search washed up Harry Potter actors? Hang on. That's the bitch that worked in the fucking greenhouse.
You know James, the one with the big cock.
Say I'm Hufflepuffing on that Mandrake pack.
Hit my line if you trying to chill or slither on in. Don't invite Hagrid though. That motherfucker be a blunt hog. I'd be growing even more wizard drugs. I'm trying to turn this greenhouse into a lean house.
Lord Vader.
I just ordered McDonald's Happy Meal from Uber Eats.
I hope that the fries are fresh. Or I'ma go dark side and force them down.
I
have AIDS. I have AIDS. Was that the Island Boys? Yeah, I'm an island boy and I have AIDS. No, sorry, we need a new one. I love gooning with my best mate, my brother too. We love to goon. Please subscribe to the Goon Caves Reddit.
They're not going to say any of this anyway.
Yes, they will, if we confuse them. A popular alcohol called Goon. The Island Boys are booked.
Is that the Halo Man?
Oh, dang, she getting Mr. Beasted. You're telling me
I shrimp fried this rice?
Shrimp fried this rice? That's impossible. My wife left me. Drink grog. Beast burger sucks. Nice grog. I just committed tax fraud. My name Jeff. My name a chef. High cholesterol.
Get a smash. Use code cold ones at gamersubs.gg or very.cool. That's another good promo for code cold ones at very.cool. I'm walking here. Tax evaded.
All right, we've got enough. Let's just send it. Please have dinner ready at home.
I've got dinner ready at home.
Can I have a raid?
Can I have a raid? I'd like to move on to the next one.
I'd like to move on Say fucking white boy summer.
All right, it's all done. The Da Vinci twins. Can you please give advice to my brother Tom? He recently found out
Cold One has a fantastic deal. For $5 a month, you get extra content on their Patreon. They have fantastic extras, such as extended content, Q&As, retro replay gaming videos.
Is that the door, Roscoe? Hey, Chad. Bob here.
Can you say just hit platinum in Rocket League? I know you're a happy little accident, but your mum booked this to let you know that getting double Warglaves in World of Warcraft.
Well, however, she requested you please leave the house and get some pictures. Gamma's Dang is stinging up the basement and she wants you gone. I'm booking it. That's my Hail Mary. What's this guy from? I've seen memes of him.
Don't fall in love. Die alone. Be a man.
All right, I just booked a couple from the Be a Man guy. I know I complain a lot sometimes about problems we have around here, but at least I'm not these people. Oh, I love this guy. I made sure he makes fun of poor people in this one and make sure everyone gives $5 to our Patreon. All right, guys, we've fucking shrooted and we're gonna see them in a little bit of time when all the cameos are done, right?
What's a cool transition, Chad?
You throw the beanie at the camera. You throw my phone at the camera.
What the fuck? Chad!
Hey, what's up, guys? It's fucking scarce here.
We're back. We're in the process of moving right now, so we're on a temp set. Background be like, I'm made of cardboard.
All right, guys, it's been 2 months since we booked all those cameos. Do you guys remember any of the cameos we filmed?
I don't remember anything. I feel like the years of doing this has degraded my brain to the point where I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
What'd you have for lunch yesterday?
Hello, I'm Elon Musk. Money, I have a lot of money. I have a lot of money. Give it to you. Don't toy.
This Elon Musk.
Twitter. I'm buying Twitter. I have a lot of money.
I wish nothing but pain.
I can kind of understand why the wife and kids left him now.
He asked on Twitter saying, can I do this cameo? Can I pretend to be Elon Musk? And a guy said, don't do it, James. They're trying to make you impersonate Elon Musk. And he replied saying, but it's $50.
Don't pay taxes. Commit tax fraud.
Yes! Yeah! Yeah!
You sent him 4 things. One of them was don't pay taxes, commit tax fraud, reach for a cop's gun, be a man, sell your children on the open trade slave market, be a man, commit hate crimes, be a man.
Shrimp fried rice, yeah? Yeah? What? Huh? You're saying the shrimp fried this rice? Held a walk with his little dactyl clubs, did he?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember
Google
that.
having to Google what a fucking shrimp's claws were called.
Pathetic. You know, his little shrimpy appendages, yeah? Fuck off. I'm from the office.
All right, can I move on to the next one? I know we're
Why did we get that guy?
I was just like, John Lovett's cancelled. I'll just get another random comedian because I didn't want the brief to go to waste. I thought it was funny.
Okay, what is the fuck is going? You are a washed up celebrity. Like, you should be doing whatever you can to make money. And you've rebooked it. Did you find a Walter Jr. impressioner? I hope you did.
It's a De Niro.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, and you bring me spaghetti? I ask you to simply bring a side, and you bring spaghetti? Spaghetti is a main. What's the matter with you? I would have preferred a small yogurt pouch. In fact, I'm going to the store right now to purchase one. Hey, I'm walking here. You know, fucker, I was watching Breaking Bad the other day. I got this theory that Walter White turned evil because he was bald. I mean, come on, let's think about it.
Name one non-bald villain. I'll wait.
Ganondorf.
He's balding.
His hairline's like slightly receding. I wouldn't say he's balding.
It is balding.
Let's think about it. Makes sense, right? Stand-up guy with hair, then goes bald. Bada boom. Murderer, drug dealer, criminal.
Ah!
What are we doing over here? Let me ask you. What's the deal with the shrimp fried rice?
Oh, no.
I mean, they got shrimps over there frying rice. They frying that stuff up? How they do this? Doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Remember this. I am watching you.
RJ Mitty should fucking live. That was a pretty tame cameo.
Hi, Jimmy Beast. It's me, Zoidberg.
Okay, what
I
is
just
this?
tried
What
Beast
is
Burger.
this? I'm afraid where this might go.
Dude, look at us in the background as the heads.
What is this animated? Like, was
Is
it?
this animated?
I mean, sorry,
Guys, is this animated?
I was very disappointed. What is it with you humans and your lies? I order a beast burger. I expect a beast in the burger. A cow is hardly a beast, and I should know I'm a doctor. Speaking of doctoring, I was working on a cure for Crohn's,
Can we go one vid without making fun of Crohn's?
but now I think not so much. Please say hello to Jake the Viking for me.
That's the first time anyone's ever asked that.
Oh no!
He's my favorite beast humanoid companion. Now, if you'll excuse me, the shrimp is off to...
Oh my god! What the fuck is this shrimp?
The shrimp is off to fry some rice. Yeah. I'm scuttling for Mr. Beast.
I'm scuttling. What happened there?
Okay, so the original guy we booked was like a Scooby-Doo voice guy, and he was just like, yeah, I'm not comfortable doing that.
What the fuck?
I found the original Zoidberg guy.
Oh, that's the original Futurama Zoidberg actor?
Yeah, the next video is the raw cameo if you want to look at it.
Hey, this is for Mr. Beast, and it's from Chad.
Does he do Fry as well?
Yeah, he does
Because
Fry
his normal
and
voice sounds
Farnsworth.
like Fry.
Hi, Jimmy Beast. It's me, Zoidberg. Yeah.
This is demonic. I'm ready.
Hey there, Timmy. Your mother decided to cheat on Daddy with her business, Daddy.
Excuse me, the shrimp is off to...
Oh my god! What the fuck is this shrimp?
The shrimp is off to...
Original Zoidberg guy.
Oh, that's the original Futurama Zoidberg actor?
Yeah.
チケットはいらねえか。おい、そこ。
すべてを照らさん。月光を剣とす。そうよ一体。立ちなさい。さようなら。落ち着いて。あ、長期間見据えるのが成功の秘訣。
This video is brought to you by my new handmade jewelry by Sweetleaf. "1995 Strange Days" is probably one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. I originally only ever watched it because TV Guide said there was going to be boobs in it. But then it just wound up being a really good movie that stuck with me ever since I saw it. At first, just because it was entertaining, but the past few years I keep getting reminded of it. Because I keep seeing so much technology cropping up that makes me think, oh yeah, just like in Strange Days. See, one of the main elements in the world of Strange Days, you got these disc recordings of people's memories. You can play back the memory and experience it as if you were them, with all the sights and the sensations and everything. If you had such technology, what would you use it for? Perhaps to experience situations that were too dangerous to try in reality. Perhaps to live out an unrequited love. Or, you know, maybe a little something from that one industry that's always at the forefront of new media. You know the one. The science of getting your rocks off. Well, we're still not completely there, at least not as in-depth as the movie, but we're getting pretty close. Today's episode of Tales from the Internet. A Redditor who uses virtual reality to cheat on his wife with her sister, and he gets caught. And in getting caught, he winds up revealing the sister's terrible secret. Some of you have noticed these big, chunky skull rings that I got sometimes. And I'm stoked to announce that I just partnered with the company that makes them, Sweetleaf Jewelry. For a limited time, I've got my own rings and pendants. Gonna insert a picture because it doesn't seem to want to focus. Each piece is handmade by Sweetleaf out of sterling silver. And it's great, you can, you know, wear the rings, wear the pendant to the office. And when someone at work asks you, hey, what's that ring about? You can tell them all about the BME Pain Olympics and 2 Girls 1 Cup and the Jar Guy. Get that good water cooler talk started up. They're only available for a limited time. They're available right now and all the way up until September 1st. So get them while you can. Just go to sweetleafjewelry.com or click the link in my description. Leave it to a Reddit user to pioneer the land of virtual reality cheating. And of course, to have it blow up in his face spectacularly. On May 17th of 2019, an anonymous user on a throwaway account posted, "Today I fucked up. TIFU, I've officially branded myself as the biggest perv, and I 100% deserve it." This incident that he's about to tell us about had only happened an hour prior. And of course, with his whole life on the precipice of collapse, he decides to post about it on Reddit. So here's what happened. He's about to go on vacation with his wife, and they want to get some good footage of the trip. His wife's sister had a sick 360-degree pocket camera. So they ask her to borrow it, and she's like, yeah, sure. But when they get the camera, he discovers that the memory card that she had is still inside it. He checks the memory card and sees that it does in fact still have some video on it. What kind of video? I'm glad you asked. A 1 hour long, 360 degree POV style porn video of herself. Her sister is not a sex worker, so why would she have such a thing? His theory is that because her husband travels a lot for work, she kinda had to go the extra mile to keep things happy on those long trips. So, you know, he just respectfully pretends to have not seen it, goes on with his life, and him and his wife have a lovely vacation. Of course, that's not what fucking happened. See, him and his wife's sister over the past several years have actually had a bit of a complicated relationship. I've had the hots for her for the past 8+ years. Before she got married, and I have, there were several times sexual tensions arose between the two of us. Living together for a year as strictly roommates, movies, dinners, getting drunk while watching movies, just the two of us, breakfasts, etc. A certain trust, or test, was implemented and nothing ever happened between the two of us, as at the time I was dating my now wife, which was working at a distance. But damn it, at the time, if she had just touched my hand once back then, I think I would have lived a whole different life. And suddenly, there it was, right there in his hands. Not just a glimpse into the life that never existed, but a way to step inside of it for just an hour. So he sits on it for a while until he has a day off. That day comes and he sits around waiting for his wife to go out. And he doesn't have to worry about her unexpectedly coming back and getting caught, because you see, they have a system. I have an automated house that lights up the house with geolocation. Before, the app worked with Apple HomeKit, a third-party app needed to be downloaded which tracks your family and friends. Free version only allows you to add one person, so my wife. Wife and I had this app for 3 years now, even if it's useless now after an app update a couple of years back on the original app. We never deleted it since it was so useful for tracking each other using notifications. I get a notification when she's at work, and when I arrive at work, we also both get notifications when one arrives home. Good for times where she does groceries, for example, and I get a notification to prompt me to go out and help her out. Or when I work late and finally leave the office, prompting her to set up the dining table. So he sets up his VR headset, puts his AirPods in, and gets to work. This would have lasted me tops 5 minutes. But the foreplay she does is long and boring. Then the action starts and I go on. So there he is, sitting on his bed spanking the monkey to his wife, sister, and Gloria's VR, living the whole experience in first person as if he was actually up in those sister-in-law guts. And then, with no notification, his wife walks in mid-tug with the goggles still on his face. Are you winning, husband? You see, his wife forgot to charge her phone the night before, so the phone was dead and thus no notifications. He explains that his wife knows he masturbates, but they never had the whole "is porn cheating" conversation, nor conversations about any of the other possible situations he brings up. Is a sex doll cheating? Is a robot cheating?
Please assume the position.
How about someone stroking you through electronic sex toy through the power of the internet? In any case, his startled wife rips the goggles off his face and goes, "The fuck?" Then she looks inside the goggles. Is that my sister? She still has her shoes on from coming home, and she grabs the VR headset in her bags and storms out. He doesn't see where she went until she gets a chance to charge her phone, and then he sees she's at her parents' house, next door to her sister. So he's fucked. And that's where the post originally ends. Several hours later though, he adds an edit. He mentions that just making the post made him feel a little bit less stressed out, having someone to vent to. But after the post, he's calling his wife, no answer. Then he gets a call from her sister. He didn't pick up though, cause he was scared of what might happen, so she calls him 5 times in a row and eventually just texts him, "Call me." Here's what he does next. I left the apartment and decided to go watch a movie at the theater. Needed to get distracted, which didn't help as I didn't focus once on Detective Pikachu. There's any doubt that this guy was a Redditor. But they're still calling him during the movie and the notifications are getting him distracted. So eventually he just says fuck it and goes back home. And then on the drive back, he gets a notification that his wife is at the house. Not much he can do now. Arrived home, was getting ready for the shitstorm about to happen. That out-of-body experience came back really quickly to reality as I got to the door and then had that fear again. I know she got notification I was back. Of course, both his wife and his sister-in-law are already waiting for him. And remember now, at this point, he doesn't really know if his sister-in-law knows what he did. So he can't apologize or say anything about the situation first. He might unnecessarily incriminate himself. So they're just sitting there in silence until his wife finally says something. I spoke to sister-in-law about what happened. She knows. He starts apologizing to her and the sister goes, "You know this video wasn't meant for you, right?" Gives him a 10-minute talking to that he nods along with. But then this drama comes out that fucked with me. She said that it wasn't for her husband neither. He's been constantly traveling to Bulgaria voluntarily at any chance he could for work, but also through the years he's been having an affair with a colleague there which works at the branch. She knew for a while and let it slide as he was still providing for sister-in-law. But the providing became less and less. Wife knew too about this as she and her sister are so close, but the info was kept within the family to avoid dishonor. It is a big Eastern mentality to have. And it's not the first time family info was kept secret from me, but now they told me because of the circumstance. I was told not to apologize or speak to her husband as he does not know about this video. Sister-in-law is seeing someone else. Her husband and her both live as roommates for now. The divorce word can never go out, but she's found someone long distance and that video was for him. The reason for all the calls was to not mention anything to her husband. Sister-in-law feared that if I did, then this video would have been proof held during divorce process as if she was at fault. So he's freaking the fuck out, but at this point they're also so focused on the sister situation that the topic of him jerking off to the video of her doesn't come up again. That night the sister stays over, they got some food and have a few drinks. Everyone's laughing and having a good time. He describes the sister kicking him under the table every time he makes a joke. He said he felt like having this secret between them all made them feel closer. And then they all sleep in sleeping bags in the living room. He said it's like a camping trip. So, I guess he got away with it. People got a lot to say about this. I think you just wanted to flex on us with those AirPods. It got a bunch of people saying, hey, you should go for a threesome. Which honestly, reading the story, that also crossed my mind. Well, this isn't where the story ends actually. The next day, the post is edited. Everything is deleted and replaced. This is his now ex-wife. Did he not realize, or too dumb to remember, we share everything, including the same Reddit app? I logged on to see this throwaway as the default login account. I've removed all of this personal story for my family's protection and changed this account's password, although it might be too late and already circulated online. Yeah, you could say that it's a little too late and circulated online. I took a look through the comments and was seriously disgusted by most of the responses suggesting to sexually approach both of us last night, which my sister did mention he tried something in the middle of the night. This guy is incredibly living in another world. She then says that she only made this edit to make sure people knew that he did not get away with it. And the actual reason that they had this little living room campout was so that he wouldn't see her packed bags. And before he woke up, they got her shit and dipped. She froze the joint banking account. She deleted the tracking app, and she gave away all his Reddit gold. Also mentioned plans to get a lawyer and get a divorce. TLDR, his life is ruined. This story would go on to earn the fuck up of the month for May of 2019. And although there are certain details to this story that do lend themselves to its credibility, there's one circle that I just cannot square with it. They shared the same Reddit app. Granted, she didn't elaborate on what device was used. Perhaps there was a shared PC that they had where he just simply stayed logged in, but why would you call that an app? Because if she's away and she's looking at Reddit on her phone and sees the account logged in, how it, like, I don't think it works like that. The only way that I could see that working is if he made the throwaway account using an email that they share and she recovered the password, but she didn't say that she did that. Of course, I've never been in a situation where I was sharing all of my login info with somebody else, so maybe there's just something you do that I don't know about. If I'm wrong and there is something like that, let me know. On November 26th, 2022, an Air India flight departed from New York City headed to New Delhi, India. A pricey non-stop flight that lasts nearly 14 hours on average. It's not the most pleasant experience, but if you gotta make the trip, you gotta do what you gotta do. At least in business class, you can stretch out a bit more and relax. But for the occupant of seat 9A, business class was far from relaxing. In fact, she described the trip as the most traumatic flight she had ever experienced in her 72 years of life. Why, you might ask? See, on this flight, a drunk man pissed on her. But these kinds of incidents are actually surprisingly common. What's less common is that the accused pisser happened to be a Wells Fargo executive. This revelation, of course, leads to a massive scandal that leads to a back and forth that feels like something out of an Oliver Stone movie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of Air India's P-Gate. So a few weeks ago, I'm on an airplane with my band Jinx, and all of a sudden my guitar player Jerry, who's sitting in the middle seat, mentions he's got to take a leak, but he doesn't feel like getting up and climbing over everything and squeezing over to the bathroom. Wishes he just grab one of those back of the seat pouches and piss in the pouch. Of course, eventually he just gets up and goes to the bathroom like a normal person. But it made me think of one of my favorite pictures of all time. This drunk old man just sitting in his seat, pissing into one of those back of the seat pouches, perfect arc and everything. So I used the in-flight Wi-Fi to look it up, thinking that, this would just be the only thing that pops up. Instead, I find that there are so many airplane pissing incidents. And probably the biggest scandal ever tied to one just happened to be unfolding at that very moment. Although this incident occurred in November, the details weren't publicly known until early January. This was after the 72-year-old woman who had been pissed on wrote a letter to Natarajan Chandrasekaran, the chairman of Air India's parent company, the Tata Group. In the letter, she outlines the events of that plane ride. During the flight, another business class passenger, who at the time's identity was unknown, was becoming increasingly drunk because, how else are you gonna pass the time on a 14-hour flight? Lunchtime had just passed and the lights were dimmed. The drunk passenger took this opportunity to walk up to her, unzip his pants, and pee on her. And after peeing, he just stood there until another passenger told him, "Hey, buzz off." So the woman, covered in piss, gets up and tells the crew what had just happened. They provide her with a change of clothes, and then they ask her to return to her piss-covered seat, despite there being a lot of clean seats still available. But she keeps complaining, and the crew understands the situation. So what they do is, they spray the seat with disinfectant, and then ask her to return. Eventually, 2 hours later, they finally give her a new seat. During the flight, the man sobers up, and against her wishes, the crew brings the man to her. He's crying and apologizing profusely, and he tries to negotiate some kind of a deal so she doesn't make a whole case of it. But she's not having it, she just wants him arrested. But then, after the flight lands, he just leaves without any incident. Meanwhile, the old lady was promised a wheelchair so she can get through customs and get right clean as soon as possible. And they do get her the wheelchair, and they take her, and then they leave her in waiting and abandon her for at least a half an hour. It seemed like nothing had been done about this situation, so she wrote the letter. And Air India finally responds that they reported the incident to the police and banned him from flying for 30 days, which was the maximum amount they were allowed to at that point. They had also launched an internal investigation into why the crew was so unhelpful. A few days after the news of this incident broke, the drunk man would be identified by the New Delhi Police Department. He was identified as Shankar Mishra, Wells Fargo's Vice President of Operations in India. After the police got involved, he was pursued with several charges, including public obscenity, gestures meant to insult the modesty of a woman, drunken public misconduct, and assault. However, although he was a resident of Mumbai, they could not locate him, and it was believed at that point that he was deliberately evading arrest. Meanwhile, with the news of one of their executives pissing on an old woman, Wells Fargo was forced to release a statement publicly terminating him. Wells Fargo holds employees to the highest standards of professional and personal behavior, and we find these allegations deeply disturbing. This individual has been terminated from Wells Fargo. We are cooperating with law enforcement and ask that any additional inquiries be directed to them. While all this is going on, Mishra, who is still unaccounted for, releases a statement through his attorneys. In the statement, he claims that he made an agreement with the woman to clean her clothes and her soiled items, as well as some financial compensation, and he claimed to have a series of WhatsApp messages that corroborated that this agreement was satisfactory. He also stated that the woman's grievance was with the airline and not with him. But despite this, he mentions that he had faith in the legal system and was willing to comply with law enforcement. The same day, Mishra's father would appear live on India Today. He was questioned about his son's whereabouts, which he didn't really answer, but he also denied that the story had happened at all. He said that his son slept on the flight because he'd been awake for 72 hours, and he also said that his son wouldn't have done this because a 72-year-old woman is like a mother to him. He also said there were no eyewitnesses to this situation. And when questioned about why his son would have apologized if this didn't happen, Shams said that his son had acted under duress and he was merely complying with her demands. Ultimately, the police would trace Mishra's phone, leading them to catch up with him in the city of Bengaluru on January 7th. They then brought him to prison for 14 days while they investigated further. And on the day of his arrest, it turned out that there actually was an eyewitness. A US-based doctor named Sugata Bhattacharjee, who began making the rounds in the media. He spoke to the Times of India about what he saw. Sugata Bhattacharjee, a US-based doctor of audiology and Mishra's co-passenger,
Yeah, the next video is the raw cameo if you want to look at it.
Hey, this is for Mr. Beast, and it's from Chad.
Does he do Fry as well?
Yeah, he does
Because
Fry
his normal
and
voice sounds
Farnsworth.
like Fry.
Hi, Jimmy Beast. It's me, Zoidberg.
This is demonic. I'm ready.
Hey there, Timmy. Your mother decided to cheat on Daddy with her business daddy, Peter Bob. And now Mommy has something she can't get rid of and needs to leave Daddy so he doesn't catch it. She also needs to take Daddy's favorite car and money for some reason.
Is this like a children's channel puppet and we commissioned it to explain why mum and dad are breaking up?
Yeah, that's
Is that exactly what this is?
correct. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Mommy needs it to help fight her gonorrhea. Mommy is a whore.
Okay, all right, okay.
Why is he sitting in hell?
I think that's where he belongs.
Don't worry, your real daddy will look after you. If one day Mommy and Daddy disappear, you better not fucking testify, you little shit.
Jesus Christ. The fuck? Did we write all of that? Is this a Jack Sparrow impersonator? Is he filming on a fucking iPhone 2?
I don't believe I've eaten enough oranges, for I've got a serious sickness. We'll be passing China soon, but I'm a bit sussy on them.
This guy
What the fuck is he?
sucks.
What is he saying?
Is he drunk
What
in
the
real
fuck?
life?
What? Is he putting all the makeup on, the hat, the fucking braid in the hair, like to sit down and do cameos all day, every day?
This was originally sent to a guy from the actual movie, Kevin McNally. He declined it. There's like 3 Jack Sparrow impersonators on Cameo. I booked 2 and they both declined. So he was the last one I booked.
So we got the shittest one possible. This Bob Ross impersonator also looks scuffed. But
That's definitely the sexiest Bob Ross I've ever seen.
Well, hey there, Chad. Bob here. Stopping by to let you know that I just got plat in Rocket League. Now, I know you're a happy little accident, and your mother just booked this for you to congratulate you on finally getting double Warglaves in World of Warcraft.
Yes! Finally, someone understands double warglaive.
However, she kindly requests that you please leave the house and go get some bitches, man.
I decline. I've got double warglaives. I don't need bitches.
Your gaming stank is stinking up the basement, and she wants you gone. Please apply for some jobs. If you're not gone in the next 60 days, well, she's going to dump all your shit, including that top vinyl collection of yours, on the sidewalk. Living with your mom, it's kind of like this blank canvas here. So much freedom and joy, and well, getting the fuck out and moving on with your life. Best of luck, Chad, and God bless.
That was the shittest Bob Ross impersonator I've ever seen. Oh, it is the Halo guy.
Strap in, brothers.
Hey there, Mr. Beast. Chad reached out to me, who I'm assuming is a very, very good friend.
Shut the fuck up and say you have triple A's.
I have a tumor.
Oh my god.
High cholesterol.
That's me.
Ghetto smosh. Guys be like. Detonated wham.
We need a detonated wham on the fucking backdrop.
Use code cold ones at very dot cool.
You put that in, didn't you?
I did not. You did.
You fucking
I did not put that in.
Okay, all right, okay.
Free Willy. Hey, I'm walking here. I've got nothing, man. Tax evaded.
Yes! Yes! Me every financial year. I lodge my tax return.
I've got dinner ready at home.
You were saying that trying to leave because we were booking him for so long.
You make him say anything, I would think it's funny.
What's for dinner?
Okay.
Glass noodles plus soup.
Oh, I remember that dinner. Anna Basic came over that night and fucking raided the house and ate all the fucking glass noodles in my house.
Can I have a raise?
Rowie asking for a raise.
white boy summer. I've just spotted a creature in the woods. I'm gonna investigate. Can we please finish booking Jeff Steitzer? Think I got everything? If not, I can always re-record.
This guy is a fucking absolute top G legend. Like, honestly, life would be better if he had like a permanent role in the world where if he did something, like he'd be like,
Who's successful?
no. I'm starting to like kind of understand why Mr. Beast stopped replying to my DMs. Skitsy, is that his name? He's schizophrenic for sure. Look at him.
Hey guys, evil Mr. Beast here. Today I just bought out this whole homeless shelter and turned it into a beast burger. Guess what the main ingredient to the burger is? Let's be clear, we culled all the homeless that were stationed at the shelter and we turned them into a fresh meat for my fans to enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh my god. He did a real good job at being fucking evil Mr. Beast.
What do you think the meat is, Chet?
Human. No, sorry, not human. Homeless people. Da Vinci? I love these guys.
Who recently found out that the Cold One's Patreon is only $5? Tom? All right. Tom! We got it right. Yeah, we know you're so excited about all the fantastic extras that are not included on their YouTube channel. Such as extended content. Whoa.
Yeah,
and Q&As.
Yeah, we do those. We do those.
Retro replay gaming videos.
Yeah, we do those.
And that's it. Oh, and also, what? D's what? These nuts! Tom, we have advice. Us and the Funko Pop twins think you're just as amazing as the person who painted the Mona Lisa. Wait. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Mona Lisa. Yeah. Da Vinci.
Why is this video?
That's funny now.
They had to throw it in.
I don't like that.
Didn't we just book these guys earlier? They put makeup on?
Hey, Gooners, I need you to goon, all right? All the Island Boys goon all the time.
Okay. They're really homophobic. Do they know what gooning is? Anytime someone does something gay around them, they get really like, yo, what's your problem, man? Don't do that, like, unironically.
All the Island Boys goon all the time.
They have no idea what gooning is.
Love gooning with my best mate. My brother, too, we gonna be goon.
Did he just say he likes gooning with his bruh? These guys do not know what they're saying, and that makes it so much better.
Please subscribe to the Goon Case Reddit. Consider gooning with us. It's alright, we have fun. Gooning is lit. Please come goon with us.
They are dumb, bro. They are like bottom of the barrel dumb.
He's back.
Okay.
Oh, frick. You got Mr. Beasted.
Okay, I like that.
Let him cook. You're telling me a shrimp fried this rice? That's impossible. Divorce finalized.
I remember that.
She took the kids.
No.
Drink grog.
Yes! You just said that, drink grog.
So good.
I should have gotten a prenup. Beast Burger stinks.
Facts.
I got food poisoning from Beast Burger. Nice grog.
Nice.
My name, Jeff. My name, a chef.
We need to get this guy on the fucking podcast.
Evil Mr. Beast here.
Okay, all right.
Today we are going to hit the streets and ask people if they're subscribed. If they're subscribed, they get $23. But if they're not, they get executed. ISIS style.
No.
Oh. Buzz ISIS style. Hey, sexy lady. Oh, but ISIS style.
I kind of like like that guy.
I love him.
He did DM us and said he was a fan.
Oh, that is fucking awesome.
Walter Jr., I saw that video you posted with the furries. Your mother is very disappointed. I am literally turning Chinese.
$300 is $300.
I got bit by a Chinese vampire. Chinese vampires don't make you vampiric, by the way. They do be making you Chinese, though. God, did it's happening already.
God, you made that video?
Yeah,
I would pay you $300 to make that over the guy doing the impression.
I was planning on taking a trip to China this year, but I'm going to be on a list after that joke. Sorry.
I think Chad's just scared you get bit by a fucking Chinese vampire.
They don't make you vampiric, though.
God. This guy has no good fucking car ideas.
And yes, I gave it away. Remember, chair, 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 chair. And troll, don't get black, or you will admit to yourself that you yourself suck. And of course, we'll have to marry your mother-in-law. Or I'm coming to pick you up in my little stinking car with poor mother-in-law because she likes me very much, and I'm going to make sure my steering wheel doesn't whiff out of the window while I'm driving. I'm just kidding. Bye now. Bye.
Oh no! The fucking plant bitch from Harry Potter denied us too.
I was like, I don't know who to replace this Sprout cameo with, and Darcy was just like, just pick another old woman. I was like, you know what? Okay.
Hello, everybody. Professor Spout from Harry Pooper here. I am
Harry
Hufflepuffing.
It's Professor Sprout from Harry Pooper here.
Professor Spout from Harry Pooper here. I am.
Who is it? Or did you just find an old person?
Her name's Epic Gamer Grandma. I think it's like a situation where the son or daughter is like,
oh no, that's sad.
Grandma, time to wake up. What year is it, Sonny? You gotta record a vid. I'll hold it up to your face.
It's Professor Sprout from Harry Pooper here.
Hufflepuffing on some mandrake root. Let us bleep smoking big dogs here at Hogwarts.
He said bleep. They didn't want to swear.
I'm trying to turn this greenhouse into a lean house. You feel me all right, Sprout?
What the fuck was that scream at the end? Oh man, if Professor Sprout did that, that would have been fucking awesome. If you are on Cameo, you just have to accept that you... Look at Gilbert Godfrey. He died a legend because he said anything.
If you used to be in Harry Pepper, you should just do Cameo, basically.
Honestly, I'll pour one out for fucking Gilbert Godfrey because he'd say anything.
Facts.
I wish we could share a grog with him.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, brother. If he was saying that, it would have been extra funny. Oh, I love this guy.
At the end of the day, Cold One's Patreon is only $5. So stop being poor, stop being a povo, and buy the Patreon. Support Cold Ones right now, or I will punch your nan in the fucking face. Fuck off.
Isaac's a fucking legend.
I'm so tired. I just finished walking up a flight of stairs. The elevator in my apartment building is malfunctioning. I just ordered a more fucking McDonald's Happy Meal from Uber Eats. I really hope the fries are fresh as fuck, though. Or I'm gonna have to go dark side and give the Uber Eats driver a 1 star. I am gay.
How much did this guy cost?
$58.
That's it? I would have paid $500.
Does he sounds like he's doing
Jar Jar Binks.
I'm gonna have to go a dark side on your. I'm a gay.
Thanks so much for watching. There was a last one which 100% cannot go on YouTube. It will be on the Patreon.
Hey, you guys remember? No, Xbox.
No. I'm saying no. Shut up. Bye. See you guys later. Bye.
I remember my first time. I had been flirting on and off with this girl for years, then one day I wake up to a text on my Nokia brick phone. It said, "You want to get busy?" I was over there so fast, you wouldn't even believe, pounding it out with Crazy Town playing in the background. I would think about all these shows I used to watch that built up virginity to be on this pedestal, and I thought, man, that was very unceremonious of me in comparison. On the flip side of that, you have what happened in July of 1998. That was when two 18-year-olds named Mike and Diane declared their intent to lose their virginity on the internet in a live stream. This is the story of OurFirstTime.com. This video is sponsored by ProTeeth. ProTeeth is a new specially formulated tooth protein powder. It's not made out of teeth, it's for your teeth. It contains vitamins A, B, C, and K, as well as minerals like iron and potassium. That means it's good for you. And it's safe to swallow. And if you have allergies, don't worry. Story of two recently graduated 18-year-old honor students named Mike and Diane. And on the 8th of August, they were going to do a live stream of them losing their virginities. Note that it wasn't Mike or Diane themselves speaking to us, the audience. Instead, the entire website was presented from the perspective of an older gentleman named Oscar. Oscar was a web designer who was guiding them through this process. My name is Oscar, and I'll explain what brought this event to where it is now. Right now, you're probably in a state of shock, disbelief, and utter outrage. That is to be expected. The shattering of taboos can easily shake the pillars of society. Recently, I watched the live birth of a baby on the internet. Later, I wound up in a chat room where the topic was about the live birth. As expected, there were arguments and opinions from every corner of the country. There was one young woman named Diane who made a comment that caught my attention. She said that she thought the live birth was a wonderful and amazing experience. The only problem that she has is that most people think the live birth was beautiful, but if a couple were shown live on the internet in the act of conceiving a child, then most people would call that obscene. She finished by saying, if I could, I would lose my virginity live on the internet, just to show that the act of conceiving a child is just as beautiful as the delivery. I contacted Diane by email and introduced myself. Totally normal thing to do. I'm a website developer, and I asked her if she was serious about letting the world watch as she loses her virginity. I met with Diane and her boyfriend Mike, also a virgin, and we discussed this radical idea. After 2 weeks, Diane and Mike decided that this is something they feel passionate about and have agreed to allow the world to follow them for the next 18 days. Every day on this website, their lives will be chronicled in pictures and text as they climb the pinnacle of self-expression and make their worldwide statement of love when they consummate their relationship on the internet. Over the next 18 days, the older gentleman Oscar would join the two teens and interview them while taking pictures. When you took your AIDS test, you were both a little nervous. How did you feel today getting your results? It was also very much a product of its time. It's bad enough that I had to try and explain to my 10-year-old son what oral sex is because of the Monica Lewinsky stuff. What do you expect me to tell him about what you were doing? The truth. If you weren't around then, it cannot be understated how big of a deal the Monica Lewinsky-Bill Clinton scandal was. But anyway, let me get this straight. You got an older feller from a chat room online watching a live baby birth, hitting up an 18-year-old girl from the same chat room and asking her if she wants to lose her virginity on a live stream. In 1998, decades before OnlyFans. Seems legit. And just look at these 18-year-olds. These 18-year-olds are the most 18 years old any 18-year-olds have ever been. Nothing suspicious at all. And now, when I tell you about a website where two people are intending to lose their virginity on a stream, you're thinking it's probably a porn thing, right? Well, the site's creator didn't see it that way. OurFirstTime.com presented itself as an educational, safe sex experience for teens. This was an angle that was almost immediately mocked by a parody site, OurFirstAnalSex.com. Thanks for coming to OurFirstAnalSex.com for the story of Diane and Mike. People from around the globe, connected by a network of cables and satellites and phone lines, all have access to this site, and the connectivity is the power of the internet, blah blah blah. Anal sex is not dangerous if performed properly. Diane and Mike are played by trained professionals and will be performing with a full staff of healthcare providers on site. We do not recommend that you try ass pounding yourself unless you are properly trained. You are a healthcare provider, your partner is a healthcare provider, or your partner is deceased or imaginary. We do recommend, before having sex with someone for the first time, that you get really drunk. This will make them seem more attractive. If that doesn't work, try a mild hallucinogen, although this may interfere with sexual performance even more than alcohol does. Above all, have fun. Even if someone gets hurt, try to be certain it isn't you. Despite all the mockery and the very suspicious setup, the site gained a lot of attention almost immediately through both word of mouth and mainstream media coverage. So much so that the servers couldn't handle it and OurFirstTime.com was in search of better hosting. However, it was only porn hosts that were vying to help with the project, and they really weren't interested in doing anything with the porn industry. You know, despite offering a live sex cam. Their lawyer, identified as Mark Vega, spoke to Reuters. This is not television or voyeurism, this is about participating in the dialogue. So stop listening to your minister, or preacher, or pope, or your boss, government, or regular, and take a step in the privacy of your own home on your computer and register your opinion, Vega told Reuters. Ultimately though, the clock was ticking and they had to get something together while people were still paying attention. They realized that they would have to compromise a little bit if they wanted to save the project. Enter the Internet Entertainment Group. The Internet Entertainment Group was the internet's first major pornography company. You probably remember them as the company that distributed the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee sex tape. It was created by a man named Seth Warshawski, who had built the company with money he made in the phone sex industry. He was a major pioneer in this industry, creating the first website with live cam girls. This put him in the unique position to provide the website with the exact resources they needed. However, what seemed like a perfect match at first wound up being the project's undoing. Not long after the arrangements were made, IEA made a scathing post to their main website, clublove.com. In the post, they reveal Our First Time to be a scam. IEG can exclusively report that those behind OurFirstTime.com had attempted to mastermind a plot to not only manipulate the worldwide media, mislead the public, steal millions of dollars inside admission fees from the pockets of hard-working viewers around the globe, but in their own words, in tribute to Orson Welles and the 60th anniversary, this worldwide hoax will be bigger than his War of the Worlds as we tell the world we will consummate our relationship at 8 p.m. sharp, the same time War first began to play on the radio back in 1938. On their website, the alleged virgins answered the repeated question, "Is it real?" with the word yes. However, as smart as selecting IEG was for Mike and Diane, it would also lead to their fall from grace, as the mastermind behind this massive media hoax dreamed of sitting on a white sandy beach, sucking down a drink with an umbrella in it, thinking about the estimated $5 million in revenue to be generated and reading about his scam on the cover of Time magazine. IEG had their staff not only looking into how to resurrect the most beautiful site for these lovebirds, but also to look into the authenticity of the event. Soon, the man who called himself Oscar Welles checked into a $144 a night room with a double bed at Holiday Inn in Glendale, California, with a woman called Lydia Rawlings. After IEG exposed them, they fled the hotel room without checking out. Was having his intentions dissected in a swank high-tech conference room in Seattle, IEG headquarters. It was here, last night, that IEG officials discovered the truth behind Mike and Diane. A truth that not only horrified them, but angered them for what is nothing less than an assault on society and those who relish the internet. And for no other reason than to create havoc, those behind the hoax directed their site to Disney.com. IEG has provided Disney executives with this information. Who is Oscar Welles? The man who bragged to family and friends he'd go down in history alongside Orson Welles. His name is Kenneth Tipton. Tipton was once indicted on obscenity violations for selling videos such as Hail Mary. And one note before moving on with this, my research shows that the movie was actually the last temptation of Christ. His legal defense cost him everything he had, and to this day, blames the religious right for what he claims was an overzealous criminal prosecution. For simplification, we will refer to them as they deservingly do, the scammers. As the post went on, Seth laid out how the event was intended to play out. But here's what Mr. Tipton, or the scammers, exclusively told IEG was really planned for the site. On a daily basis, they would keep the viewers updated. The couple would intend to lose their virginity. They would go get AIDS tests. The couple would discuss how excited they were. On the big day, the day the couple claimed they would lose their virginity, the website would no longer be free. The website would cost $5 per person. Then, when the moment comes to do the deed in front of the audience paying $5 a connection, the couple would abstain. Nobody has any intention of having sex, said Tipton. You won't even see them naked. Christ, I wouldn't be surprised to find out Diane lost her virginity years ago in the back seat of a Chevy. Mr. Tipton said that he and the scammers who worked with him pulled this ploy for two basic reasons. 1, to make money, and 2, to get back at the religious right. Surely, this was the end of OurFirstTime.com, right? Well, a week later, Ken Tipton, having now dropped the moniker of Oscar Welles, starts speaking to the press. He denies that the website is a hoax, and now says that it will be hosted by Condomania.com. Condomania being a condom store chain. He also announced that there would be a press conference for the event held at Condomania's LA store. The press conference happened, and it did not go well. As he sat uncomfortably in front of a wall of various styles of condoms, Ken announced that the website was indeed a hoax. Or as he put it to the audience of pissed off reporters who were now yelling at him, an internet soap opera. Mike and Diane were revealed to be Ty Taylor, an actor who had just moved to LA and been working as an extra, and Michelle Parma, an actress who was previously in a season of Road Rules on MTV. And they maintained throughout the whole press conference that this was intended to be educational. This was about making a moral lesson, Taylor said. It was going to be the biggest public service announcement ever, Parma said with feeling, adding that if the event had taken place, it would have been about safe sex and abstinence. Reporters listened incredulously as the red-haired Parma explained, you have to hit young people over the head. Public service announcements say, do this, don't do that, wear condoms. But it doesn't sink in because the kids can't relate to them. We are going to relate to young people.
How do I reach these kids?
Obviously, the stream never actually happened, and after the press conference, the script for the final day was posted. Allow me to read an excerpt from this masterpiece. Mike. Are you ready to choose which condom? He holds out his bald fist. Diane holds out hers. Diane, ready. 1, 2, 3. Diane displays a flat palm, signifying paper. Mike displays a bald fist, signifying rock. Mike, okay, you won. You choose. Diane, I think we'll use your condom. Alright, not too outlandish yet, this is how the process usually goes. Mike picks up a packet off the end table near the bed. He starts to tear it open, but has difficulty. Diane, did you read the directions? Mike squints at the package. Mike, I'm nervous enough. I can't read writing the size of mouse tracks. Diane takes the packet from him and opens it quickly, pulls out the condom and hands it to him. He shrugs, slightly embarrassed. Diane, it's a girl thing. You could still open a jar of pickles better than I can. They wound up ruining that condom and trying to use the other one before deciding, you know what, fuck it, let's not do this. After they decide not to go through with it, the camera pans to a chair in the same room where Oscar's sitting with them. He then gives a monologue on the importance of Orson Welles and the power of the internet. End scene. You'll be happy to know, though, that in a parallel world, the couple from OurFirstAnalSex.com did go through with it. It's all over. On August 11th, 1998, at approximately 5:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Diane had her rectum penetrated by Mike, and thus they both lost their anal virginity. It was very rewarding for both of them, and they might even try it again in the near future. The transcript of the event will be available in a matter of days, so be sure to return then. Shortly after this all fell apart, Ken Tipton decided to take Seth Warshawski to court for defamation. It took a couple of years for them to actually see trial, and when it happened, the case was dismissed. Ken was given another chance due to appeal, but that too was dismissed, and this time, Seth Warshawski had fled the country. Owing a massive settlement to Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, he just bailed to Thailand. In an interview, he explained that he had enough money left to live 50 comfortable lives over there. And I thought originally this would be where the video ended, but it is definitely not. I was looking at the Museum of Hoaxes article about this topic when I noticed a single comment. It was left by someone named Darlene Lieblich. In the comments, she asserted that the article was wrong about this story, and she attached a link to what she said was the true story. That link went to the website for the movie Heart of the Beholder. Heart of the Beholder was a 2005 film written and directed by none other than Ken Tipton himself. It's probably most notable for being one of the first acting roles of Chloe Moretz. And it tells the story of a video store owner who runs into a conflict with a conservative religious group over a controversial movie. In other words, a fictional retelling of what actually happened to Ken Tipton in real life. Although the site was mostly about the movie itself, there were 2 memorial pages. One of them for the director Robert Wise, who mentored Ken Tipton, and one for Michelle Parma, the actress for Diane, who since then had passed away in a car accident. The Robert Wise memorial page tells of how Heart of the Beholder came to be. Originally, Heart of the Beholder was going to be produced for HBO, but they dropped the project. It was Robert Wise who pushed Tipton to make the movie himself, encouraging him to do over Comics, as a medium, have often been used throughout time to make commentary on life and society, while drawing the reader in with amazing, fantastical stories. Spider-Man, for example, functions as a metaphor for puberty, and a boy struggling with changes his body goes through at Peter Parker's age. You got X-Men, which addresses bigotry and through the struggles of the mutants mirrors the real-life civil rights movement. And then, there's the Zootopia abortion comic, which is about abortion. So for today's episode of Tales from the Internet, let's take a look at the Brazilian comic artist William Borba's modern classic, I Will Survive. This video is sponsored by Helix. Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding, custom fit to your needs and shipped right to your door. Zootopia, released in 2016, is an animated film in which Disney once again takes us to a world populated by anthropomorphic animals, in which predator and prey live peacefully side by side. It follows the story of a straight-laced rookie cop, Judy Hopps, who finds herself in an unlikely partnership with a sleazy con artist fox, Nick Wilde. And Zootopia, probably more than any other animated film I've ever seen, is striking in the sense that it feels like it's specifically made for furries. Like, there's an appeal for furries with anything that would have anthro characters, and there's some characters that furries have latched onto throughout time, like Sally Acorn, for example. But this one, to me, so clearly had them in mind. I mean, when this one came out, people, and I'm talking like non-furries, were quick to point out how uncomfortably thick Judy Hopps' design was. It gave her a touch of that Pixar mom ass. And past that, the style just looks like furry art. I mean, yeah, it's anthro characters, but not all anthro characters look like furry art. It's kind of hard to articulate, but I'm sure you know exactly the style I'm talking about. Like, if you had a furry artist draw a rabbit, it's not going to look like Bugs Bunny. Like, even if it's not a sexualized drawing, it's still going to have that furry style. And then you got one of the main characters being a fox. I don't know what it is. It seems like 99% of furries, they're either wolves or foxes. And then you also have some scenes like the one with a giant Judy Hopps that furries seem to think is made with them in mind. But probably the most clear evidence is the acknowledgement of the furry community, and even directly marketing towards them, with furry meetup groups being asked to post about the film in exchange for merch. A far cry from the days where animators were less than enthused about the furry community. And this embrace of furries has left Zootopia with a far more active online fan community than many other similar animated films. And when you have such an active online community, you're going to get things like the infamous Zootopia abortion comic. So you have this Brazilian artist, Borba. Borba had been a professional illustrator for decades, and he had a deviant account art for fun. You can look into the account and you see that most of his work has more of a classic comic book style. In fact, he had long maintained the rule to not produce fan art. In part because he was worried about potential copyright issues, but also he believed that doing fan art betrayed a lack of creativity. And one thing you can say about him, we got no lack of creativity here. But in 2016, after the release of Zootopia, he felt compelled to break his fan art embargo. Partially because of how much he loved the film, but also because he felt inspired by pieces that other people made, both in the style and in how they used comics to tell new stories with these characters. And thus, throughout 2016, Borba begins to make his own short comedic Zootopia comics, such as one where Nick pranks Judy by sneaking up on her, only to get scared he accidentally killed her. The comics are pretty simple and well drawn, and people seem to like them. But now that he's gotten his feet wet in the fan art side of things, he wanted a new challenge. He wanted to make a more dramatic Zootopia comic. Thus, from March to May of 2017, Borba begins to publish pages of his comic, I Will Survive, a black and white fan comic that flexes all the technical prowess of a several decades experienced industry professional, in a story about abortion in the Zootopia world. It begins with Judy in the bathroom looking at a pregnancy test, which turns out to be positive. So she struggles to wake up Nick and give him the bad news, which he thinks is a prank at first. Of course, the elephant in the room, how does a fox get a rabbit pregnant? That should not be physically possible. Granted, we are talking about a world in which talking animals have jobs as police, so I guess you can't really pick and choose where the line of what is and isn't realistic is. At the very least, the writer and director of Zootopia have remained open to the possibility of interspecies breeding in interviews.
There's a general sexual objectification of Shakira's character, but because she's a celebrity. But is that okay? Like, if in a sequel, could Nick
wonderful.
and yeah,
You know, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Better than okay.
Well, it's like our own world. I think it feels like it's a very open-minded society. It feels like animals fall in love.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I think so.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah. So then, could Nick and Judy have a romance? Then
they could.
What
Maybe.
would their kids be?
Funnies?
Funny.
Or boxes?
Once Nick realizes that Judy is telling the truth, he's actually really happy about it, much to Judy's surprise and dismay. Judy does not want this baby, prompting a several pages long argument, and also an explanation that they didn't use protection because of how rare interspecies births are. Judy also worries that the mixed baby might be some kind of freak, or that it might be too big for her. She's a little fox baby, bursting her at the seams like O.J. Simpson's glove. She also worries about her career, so Nick is like, oh, you would kill our baby for your career? Leading to probably the most iconic image in this comic, the smack. So Nick packs his bags and starts to leave. Nick asks what would have happened if Judy's mother decided to abort her, and then he pleads one last time. For God's sake, Judy, give this unborn child the opportunity to do the same. I beg you. Please let your light continue to shine through him or her. But her mind's already made up. And as Judy tries to get Nick to stay, he notes that she should have lied about the abortion. So he leaves with cuts on his face and a tear in his eye. Where's she going? Don't worry. I will survive.
He said it! He said it!
He walks out the door and Judy is left with the final narration. Nothing lasts forever. Even an apparently everlasting love that has triumphed over the odds, and many challenges may eventually come to an end. So he posts this, and at first he gets the normal kinds of comments you might expect on this sort of thing on DeviantArt. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it, some people were surprised that it ended where it ended. But it's not until December that this comic breaches containment and starts to spread elsewhere online, where an amazed non-furry public learns of the Zootopia abortion comic. It's going viral with commentary, memes, the obligatory loss and whatnot edits. Perhaps most popularly an edit of the comic in which Judy and Nick are distraught over Arby's closing down. It's not that furry pregnancy art isn't commonplace. I mean, we've all seen that drawing where Shrek is pregnant with Batman's baby and the baby is Sonic the Hedgehog. We've all seen that. But this sort of stuff, it's usually just, relegated to the realm of quick MS Paint doodles. Not professional art with lengthy, in-depth dialogue that gives serious thoughts to all sides of a real-life hot-button political issue, in which real cartoon Disney animals have abortions. And what adds even more fuel to the fire, now you have people saying that this is a pro-life comic by a Christian fundamentalist who is using Zootopia to propagandize. Thus, by December, Borba's comments filled with pages upon pages of earnest debate on the abortion issue. Once again, inspired by a comic in which the rabbit from Zootopia gets an abortion. Borba, of course, rejected their analysis. Hello, I've seen this comic before, and I'm informed that your comic became popular because some people claim this comic is pro-life. Is this true that you and/or this comic is pro-life? The answer is negative for both sides of your question. And he would later clarify in a more detailed blog post about my Zootopia fan comics. There are many stories created by fans telling about the life of Judy and Nick beyond the film. Several of them, both fanfic and fan comic, occur in dystopian-like alternate universes, or talk about police mysteries. There are also those sweet and gentle stories that show our furry heroes in a cheerful and carefree family life. Well, from the beginning, when I started to create the series of fan comics about Zootopia, I decided I'd stay away from these kinds of plots. Besides, I wanted to make stories that were really different from the others. It would not make sense for me to create stories similar to those that have already been made. I wanted something with my brand, my way of seeing things, no matter how much it cost me. The main reason that led me to create these stories is fun. Mine and those who, for some reason, like them. I did not create them to run for the Pulitzer Prize or the Nobel of Literature, nor to be transformed into TV series or to get to the big screen. Fun. Capisci? This is the best part of being a fan. The ability to create stories about your favorite characters without any concern for canons, headcanons, and the fuck. But what guided me was mainly the following question. What if? This question was the basis of everything related to Zootopia I did so far. Take a look. 1. What if Nick decided to prank Judy on Halloween? Night Howler's effect. What if Judy wanted to use makeup? ZPD's night party. What if Stu weren't Judy's father? Hop's family ties. What if Judy gets pregnant but she didn't want the baby? I'll survive. Well, I think you figured it out. Still, Borba's insistence that he was just presenting a scenario and not trying to push any sort of agenda went largely ignored. And although he enjoyed the memes people made, losing control of this narrative annoyed him. At first, he responds with the parody comic entitled Whatever. Nick, I'm pregnant, and I don't want this child. Yeah, whatever. And that probably should have been the end of it. After all, at first he insisted this was just going to be a one-off like all of his other Zootopia comics. But by 2018, he had changed his mind and decided to make a full-on sequel to this comic entitled Born to Be Alive. A year has passed since the first comic, and now a drunken Nick who had quit the police force has come crawling back, banging on Judy's door. He ignores her threats of arresting him, and she lets him in after a vague suicide threat, a ruse that he quickly drops. Didn't I tell you, Fluff? I will always survive. Always. Just like the title again. Judy confirms that she did have the abortion, and Nick breaks down, begging for her to take him back. And during this breakdown, we get a glimpse into the past year with Nick's dealings with prostitutes, who, by the way, the prostitutes would get their own side comic by Borba. Ultimately, though, Judy could not forgive Nick for walking out on her during such a time of need, especially since the procedure apparently went badly. Nick pleads and grabs onto Judy's arm, hurting her in the process, mirroring the original where Judy had smacked Nick. And a lot of people who interpreted the original comic as being pro-Nick homed in on that scene, making him seem like the good guy. So I guess this scene in this comic was Borba's way of being like, no, actually look, see, now Nick is bad. So all this commotion in the apartment wakes someone up. The big reveal, it's Judy's new lover, another fox, a lady fox. That's right, Judy Hopps is now a lesbian. We also learned that apparently Judy was the first rabbit in all of history to get an abortion. And it was during this historical hospital visit where she met her new partner, Shay the Vixen. Nick can't believe it. You're not like that, Judy. You're just fooling yourself. Please dump this Leslie and get back to your true self. Don't you dare call her that. In his anger, Nick shoves Shay to the ground, hurting her before Judy ends his rampage and kicks him out once and for all. Now with Nick gone, the black and white art turns to color and everything is all good now. The end. Reading this comic, I could just picture Borba sitting there day in and day out, watching his comments. Every single one annoying him more than the last, until he's finally like, fuck it, I gotta do this. It's a piece that very, very obviously only exists as a response to the original, even going so far as referencing the Arby's meme, and taking great care to make Nick now seem like the bad guy, obviously to address the criticism that Nick came across too sympathetic in the original, which of course sabotaged his attempt to appear neutral. Although now it seems that perhaps he went too much in the other direction. But in any case, he did manage to succeed in getting some people to reconsider his intentions with the original comic. Thing is though, although this comic got some play within the online Zootopia fandom, it largely went ignored by the outside world. If Borba really wanted to regain control of this narrative in the mainstream like he wanted to, he would have to go a little bit bigger. He needed something that would capture people's imaginations like the Zootopia abortion did. And this next thing he comes up with, it did work a lot better. Let me tell you, once he released this one, I got so many messages of people telling me like, yo, you have to see what the Zootopia abortion guy did now. I did not get that for the second comic, but I did get that for the third comic, which is now a part of what he refers to as the Trilogy of Life. So part 3 of this story, Never Say Goodbye, releases over the course of late 2021. This one features full color illustrations and goes far, far into the future. Nick is now some sort of scoutmaster, and while he's out with the scouts, we learn that Judy is now the mayor of Zootopia. Nick and Judy see each other, and presumably they haven't seen each other since the second comic. And they have a cordial conversation as their security detail looks on like a bunch of sourpusses. The kids are impressed that Nick used to know the mayor, and Nick actually does have his own kid now. In the course of this conversation, we also learn that apparently there's a radical group fighting against her re-election because of her push for mammal equality. And we can tell that these are bad guys because we see them seek healing over ram skull flags. Because of course there's Nazis in the version of Zootopia that also has abortions. So then Shay turns up with Judy's kids, a little baby fox, and a zebra that at first I thought was supposed to be like handy capable or something because of the way they drew him. I mean, he's all cockeyed with a big bulbous head. He's all fully grown but having his hand still held. I don't think he's supposed to have a syndrome of some kind though. I think that's just how Borba drew him. But in any case, Nick apologizes to Shay. Shay accepts the apology. Nick and Judy promise to stay in touch with each other, and after everyone's all caught up, it's a big happy ending. Nick and the kids go off to the amusement park. The end. Of course, that's not where the story really ends. Warning. Starting on Sunday, October 10th, the 8 extra pages of Never Say Goodbye will be published here on DeviantArt. However, as some people may find the content controversial, or even get offended by it, I would strongly recommend these people not to read the extra pages. If you liked what you read in this comic so far and do not want to see anything controversial or offensive, stick with the 27 pages already published and avoid reading or even seeing the extra pages at any cost. You have been warned. William Borba. The extra pages begin in black and white. Judy and Shay are in a suspiciously familiar looking convertible car with the top down, flanked by heavy security detail. I feel like you guys know where this is going. And then, crosshairs. They do the JFK assassination on Judy Hopps. I can't help but think that Borba saw that furry drawing, the one that I talked about in the God of Furries video, where a God Furry causes Franz Ferdinand to get assassinated. I can't help but think he saw that and was like, yo, actually, that's a pretty good idea. So, and after Judy has been sniped on the grassy knoll, we see the culprits. A fascist elephant disguised as a bear, and a communist bear disguised as a donkey. And they proceed to squabble amongst themselves as the cops take them. This is some real biting political commentary over here. On one hand, this feels like he's trying even harder to prove his neutrality to the audience. But then on the other hand, it kind of feels like he's just telling everyone who read too much into his original comic to go fuck themselves. Also, it should be noted, there's a twist to this that when people reposted the Judy Hopps thing, tended to not get reposted along with it. After they get arrested, we find out that the sniper rifles were actually full of cherry jam and not bullets. Cherry jam that the handy-capable zebra proceeds to lick off of Judy's head. So I know a lot of people heard about this and thought, oh, like Judy's dead in the Zootopia abortion comic universe. What a horrible thing. So understand that in the Zootopia abortion continuity, Judy is in fact still alive. She's just sticky. And with this trilogy having come to a conclusion, Borba said that he's now done with Zootopia comics. For now at least, unless he feels like it again. But he also promised to do a remake of the trilogy into one single long comic, with more pages, as well as sounds and animations. He also promises that this one will be a lot more dramatic, because he felt that the original Zootopia abortion comic was too comedic. Anyway, that's all for the story of the Zootopia abortion comic. If you like this video, check out my video about the guy who made a Princess Sally love doll with a human skeleton inside of it. I'm out.
Luca, 正直に言いなさい。あんたがここに来たのって。他に目的があるんでしょ？
そうだ。お前らはどうやってスバローグと和解したんだ？この情報はそんな。
こいつそうする久しぶりよっしゃよそ見すなそうよ一体支障ない
Do you ever wonder what happens when the police leave? Crime scene cleaners are private companies that handle the cleanup after the police are gone. Spalding Decon is one of the nation's largest cleanup companies handling the aftermath of homicides, suicides, decompositions, hoarding, and much more. These are our stories.
The person wasn't found for a couple weeks, and the fluids have been sitting in the home for 19 days.
Some of his body was leaning against the door during the decomposition process, but it's actually a piece of the skin.
Hey guys, Laura here. We are in St. Petersburg, Florida on a decomp. The person wasn't found for a couple weeks, and the fluids have been sitting in the home for 19 days. So it's a big job because it's ceramic tile and it's in a bathroom in a very confined space. So there's 3 of us here today, and we're going to be doing a lot of demo, but I think we can finish it today.
Alright guys, so what I'm doing here is I'm wiping the farthest bio spot that I see that I indicated. As it's coming through, what I don't want is when I'm working my way up and we're moving around this general area, I don't want to spread it on my feet, I don't want to spread it on my body and spread it other places and making more work for us and other things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe and I'm going to clear up to the biggest spot that I can see. That way we have an area of movement here. Coming off. Just gotta get to that chunk.
You always have to clean your way from the outside in, so that's why we're starting here to try to get around to the bathroom. 104 degrees with the humidity, and then you got this. So if you're looking for a good weight loss plan, this is it.
Alright, I'm unscrewing this door. I'm taking the door off because if you look at the bottom, right, so you kind of wicked up some of that blood and bodily fluid into the door, into the wood there. So what we got here on the door is, obviously you can see where some of his body was leaning against the door during the decomposition process. So some of the skin was stuck to the door. It looked like the wood and the paint and the enamel was peeling from the door, but it's actually a piece of the skin. As the body decomposes, the fat starts to separate, the bile starts separating, all that thing happens, right? So you can see here where there was a piece of fabric or cloth here where it soaked up into the rug and it trapped it under there. So as I peel this rug up, you can see it's very wet. What that is fat, liquefied fat basically.
Most thermostats, they say the temperature on it. This one says, you're standing at the gates of hell. Run! Run! Yeah, this is, hey, people that work together, stay together. This is how you make a fucking pancake right here. So now what we're going to do is start cutting the carpet back, chipping up the tile, and wiping down the walls. They're plaster walls, so they're not drywall, which is easier to clean but harder to remove if we have to.
Somebody's getting a phone call.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm removing this, I'm going to pull this toilet up and pull the toilet, so that way we can access any bile that ran underneath the toilet bowl and get the tile out that's behind and around the toilet because it's a little tight to fit the tile chipper in there. I made sure the water was turned off at the wall to the water supply, and then what I'm going to do is I flush the toilet once or twice, make sure that most of the water's out, and then unhook your water cable from the back, and then now all there is under these caps on the side of your toilet, there's 2 bolts right here and screws. You take those up, the toilet lifts right up, no problem. You get the stuff out, then we can bolt the toilet back down onto the subfloor after we're done. What this is at some point he popped, and there's spatter on the wall that we'll have to get. It's gonna pop, and that gas is gonna release, and it comes out with some force, so that's what happens. What this is on the wall here is what it is. A lot of is from flies. So the flies are landing on the body, they're landing in the fluid and all that stuff. They're eating it up. They give it to they do it for nutrients so they can lay maggots. Maggots are eating it, moving around. So that's what this is. It's just little drippings and just debris from the flies and the maggots landing on the body and then flying around and spreading it everywhere.
So we just unscrewed the toilet, and so now we got to lift it up. Unfortunately, some of the biomatter got underneath the toilet and into the tile underneath. So the toilet has to come out. I don't think we're going to have to get rid of it. So we're just going to take it up, take the tile out from it, make sure it's clean, and at the end of the day, we're going to put it right back.
You have some sort of growth from the sewer here, from the sewage mixed with the water, causing some type of, I don't know, fungus growth, but it looks like branches.
We'll be right back after this message.
Hey everyone, Laura here with Spalding Decon. We are so happy to announce that on September 1st, we are going to have our first merch drop. The designs are going to be released in the coming days. In honor of that, we would like to pick one lucky winner to receive an exclusive package with all of our new merchandise and other bonus prizes like a one-on-one Zoom call with me. So click the link in our bio to enter. The winner will be announced on September 1st, which is also the day that you can get our new designs. We thank you again for your support on our YouTube channel. None of this would have been possible without you. Good luck.
So all the tile is gone. Nathan's dealing with the toilet right now. So now what we're going to do is start removing the door frames that have obviously had a lot of fluid on them. And then after that, we're just going to start testing the grout in certain areas to see if we need to go further.
carpet because the bio had like leaked from the hallway into this room. And the more carpet we cut, we saw the farther that it leaked into. So far right now, we've cut a pretty good 3x3 square out of the carpet, but now we've gotten to the closet and found that it's also run down into there. So I'm gonna have to cut all the carpet out. Might have to move this dresser to get into it, but there is a good thick layer of fat or grease underneath the carpet, which means that he has been leaking for quite some time.
Yeah, it's so much lighter.
It's like an industrial degreaser. It'll cut through the fat so it's not so greasy and slippery on the ground. You can see that the body fluids went through the asbestos tile. And this house is pretty old, so it's just kind of crumbling. Because our job is emergency based, we don't have to stop and then get asbestos testing first. We can't leave the body fluids there, so we're just going to clean this. We're not doing any type of build back or putting flooring back in here or anything like that. Okay, so I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna have to go that way too because that tack strip was really wet.
Yeah.
So I think
We'll just keep cutting.
So what I'm doing now is we removed all the biohazard. We removed the tile, removed that asbestos tile under the carpet for that amount. We treated the subfloor. Make sure we indicated afterwards to make sure there is no presence of biohazard left. There's not, so now what we do is we seal the floor in for any odors, anything that may be there that we just killed. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm using a Kills paint primer, which is a great sealant. And I'm going to seal these floors in everywhere that I saw biohazard and everywhere that I pulled flooring up.
Yeah.
boom. Good towel.
Well, I'm cleaning equipment now that our job's pretty much over. Got to make sure we get all the biohazard that we put into our brush out of our brush now. So I'm just going through and I clean everything with Shockwave. If it's got some bigger material in it, I hit it with a hose to make sure everything gets cleaned out before we even put it on our truck, because it doesn't make sense to take the stuff that we just cleaned and put it in with all of our other clean equipment. So yeah, just gotta make sure we get everything rinsed off before we get it back on the truck, and then we can head on out of here.
Hey guys, we're at the end of this job, and it was challenging. It was tight quarters and extremely hot. There's no air conditioning. It's about 104 with the heat index here today. So
Do you ever wonder what happens when the police leave? Crime scene cleaners are private companies that handle the cleanup after the police are gone. Spalding Decon is one of the nation's largest cleanup companies handling the aftermath of homicides, suicides, decompositions, hoarding, and much more. These are our stories.
We are here on day 2 for the military suicide. Do we have blood splatter on the wall?
a little bit on the bottom.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, fuck. This was all underneath the sill plate, and it traveled down and into the other side.
For the most part, finished with clearing out the area so it's safe for us to work in. We left food out for the cat, but we still haven't found the cat. So we've found a pet carrier, we found wet food, we found dry food. So I'm hoping as time goes on, he or she will feel a little more comfortable and come out so we can save him or her. But we're gonna start on this right now. And this is not gonna be pretty because we're gonna have to jack up tile, which is going to create a really loud noise and probably gonna scare the shit out of this cat, which is not gonna make our matters easier.
It goes down and around,
Yeah.
and then it actually comes over here to the other side of the closet.
Correct.
Do we have blood splatter on the wall?
A little bit on the bottom.
Okay, I see. And we have blood splatter on the closet door behind us.
Mm-hmm.
We have blood splatter inside the closet as well. This is bio here. It's laying in the bio. Yeah. This is what he used, obviously. 56.
It's a 56 color?
Yeah.
So this just happened last night, I think, right? And it's already dried.
It's really, really cool in here.
Yeah.
Do you think we can pry those rubber feet off?
Yeah, I'll clean them too. So
I need sanitizer for the tile that we don't have to take up.
You want to jack first?
No, I want to clean our safes a little bit so we know where we're working. So from the looks of it, the tile grout is sealed.
I don't think that made a difference here.
Here, absolutely not.
No way. It's coagulated, and so we're just doing the prep work now. That's why we're not suited up. We're just kind of getting our scene ready here because there's a lot involved in it.
I'm hoping it's concrete board in between levels.
Yeah.
Because we're on the second floor.
Yeah. Second floor.
And I really don't want to have to cut into somebody's...
We don't want to have to go downstairs and say, Granny, is something leaking in your ceiling?
And it's not water, honey.
Nope. Okay, so we're about to start kicking up this tile here. I think we have about 16 tiles that we're going to be taking here, so it's going to get loud, so stay tuned.
It got glued, and I think the glue saved the wall.
They put ceramic tile over cork floor, and you can see all the blood. Wow, that's insane.
What in the hell?
Always something new in this business. That was strange because the tile is mortared on cork board? Is that cork board?
It's cork flooring.
Cork flooring.
What they did was they used it as a sound absorber.
Right. That's a great idea.
Until you go to chip it up,
Yeah, but I think it saved the subfloor from
did.
too much blood.
100%.
Look at that.
So they actually used.
Is it glued on cork?
Yeah, they glued it on.
Yeah, that's a great idea for soundproofing. When we actually come back in here and put it all back together, not today, we will have to take that into consideration, because if we don't, it's going to be not leveled.
Super.
And if it's tile's not leveled, then it's going to crack. Now, that was a lot of noise, and I don't know where this cat is. Most likely freaking terrified. But I mean, this is a small 1-bedroom condo, so I don't know where this cat is.
We'll find her before we leave.
Yeah, it's my mission. I'm not leaving this cat in here to starve to death, so we're gonna keep going here, and
You keep watching.
so we're just gonna take up the rest of this. So when we come back in here to put it all back together, it will be even. And that's how you do that shit, yo.
What was I doing?
I don't know. What were you doing?
You're so mean. Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to just sweep it because I was like,
When you first started hitting this, I thought it was carpet padding.
So did I.
And then you're like, it's cork. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. It was going to be incredibly stupid, though, if somebody had carpet padding on it.
I've seen it before.
Oh, my God. So we found the cat, and we're going to try to get the cat now.
I'm gonna grab the canned food that I had set
Why?
and see if she'll eat.
When she's this scared, would you eat?
Who are you talking to?
Of course I'd eat. This is not going to be easy. So we should probably get her before we start chipping again.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her. She's so cute.
Are you ready? Can I pick you up yet?
Oh, hi, kitty.
Can I pick you up yet?
Poor baby. She's probably scared to death.
Are you ready for me to pick you up? Oh my god. She's just...
Oh, look at her.
I'm gonna start crying or something.
Or something.
Or something. She's so soft. Or
She's
he.
beautiful. Or he, I don't know. Oh, look at that.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pick you up, okay?
Do you want to hand me the food first?
Oh, he's walking towards me.
Here, see if he'll take a bite.
You want some food? Are you comfortable enough? No, you just want to rub?
Yeah.
Why are you nudging my nose? Why are you like all up in my face now? Are you a little boy or a little girl? I mean a big boy or a big girl, because you're a big cat.
Okay, the gender's irrelevant at this point. Let's get into the cage.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to...
Oh, look at that.
She's following me, so I'm going to try to let her jump down by herself.
Oh, there's no way.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, but you can try it.
Here, you want me to move this? I'll move that out of the way.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my god.
What a sweetie pie.
Okay, one more level, okay?
That's a pretty cat.
Oh man. Oh my god, my heart is just breaking.
I think you need a cat at home.
I'm pretty sure I'd be divorced before I'm even married. Are you gonna jump down for me? Come on.
Move the oats.
Come on.
Oh, look at that.
You wanna go in there? Are you gonna be okay to go in there? I would be ecstatic.
I mean, she
if
probably
just...
heard the gunshot and scared the shit out of her.
It's a boy.
Oh, is he neutered?
No, he's got the balls.
Great. That means he sprays.
You wanna go in? You can go to a new home.
You're gonna meet Sammy.
Oh, we just got another call for a decomp in... Oh, that's like 3 hours away from here. We're in Pinellas Park.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So he's gonna go into the van. Come on, buddy.
And some AC.
And some AC. Ooh, he's as drunk, EP.
Do you want to just put him in the front seat?
Yeah, we can do that.
Will he freak out?
I don't know.
Oh, you sweet. Oh, look at...
What did he just do?
He's burying his head. Look. Oh my gosh.
He's scared and
Look
heartbroken.
at, I have never seen a cat do that. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh, he's so soft.
Alright. You're gonna be our travel kitty, huh?
Mm-hmm. And we'll finish up this job and head to the next.
It's under the wall.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
We just added an additional 2 fucking hours.
Shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's all the way under the wall.
Awesome. Not awesome at all. Oh, man.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so before I go any deeper, I'm gonna suit back up because it went underneath the wall, so this whole wall has to come out. So we have to figure out our next game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Aww. We are here on day 2 for the military suicide. The cat is doing phenomenal. His name is Benji. And I came in 15 minutes early just to make sure to give him some extra love and feed him and change his litter box. I have new chores now, but it's definitely worth it. So I'm just gathering a couple of things so we can remove the base plate and move on to our day. I think we have another 3 jobs after this. We have Nick and Juan dispatched on 2 other jobs. So it's gonna be kind of crazy today, just like it was yesterday. Yesterday's total jobs ended up being 4. So we didn't get home until 7:30 last night. Gonna watch my work.
We're back.
Day 2.
So what we're doing today is blood went underneath the seal plate here, and after we removed the tile and the lovely corkboard that was underneath it. So we are going to remove this seal plate and replace it temporarily until our contractor gets back here, and we'll treat the subfloor because you can see the blood is sitting there.
So we're gonna sawzall this bad boy out, and I brought the blades up as well, an extension cord on a wrap, so that way in case we needed the extender.
Oh, should we grab that?
What's that?
What's that called?
Oh yeah, we should grab, we have to go through and get rid of all this stuff. That's like pornography.
Porn. I don't know if there's any porn left.
I don't either, but we'll rack up cat toys and stuff like that for Benji. He's amazing.
Yeah, so Benji's at our office, and he's doing really well. He at first was a little timid of Sammy, the dog, and now they're like ignore each other really. So they're doing great. Benji stays at the office overnight, super friendly when everybody comes in during the day. The office staff is spoiling him with lots of treats.
Oh my god, he's spoiled. He's gonna be a fat house cat by the end, probably a week or so. If Shisha gets a hold of those treats, like she did with my puppies.
Yep. So I think he's a great addition to our office family. Yep, absolutely. So we're grateful to have him.
My name's Kyle. I don't know how to work a tool that I've worked a billion times.
So we're going on a scavenger hunt for Benji toys. Because he needs all the love that he can get. So trying to make him feel at home, so bringing toys from here rather than buying new, as long as they're clean, will kind of give him that familiarity. I don't even think I said that right, but that's okay, because you guys know how I talk anyway, or don't talk. So we're just trying to go on a scavenger hunt for stuff like his stuff, and then we'll start doing the bio and be good to go. It's time to play with the power tools. So just because I know that I'm taking out the sill plate and there's gonna be nails and things like that, I just wanna have a little extra for my super soft hands, so that way if I get stabbed by something, they'll go through the rubber. But because it's bio, I'm still gonna use my black gloves underneath it too as an extra barrier, and I'm gonna put a N95 respirator on. So yesterday before we left in a super hurry, we poured our Part A chemical, which is super corrosive, but it actually eats and annihilates the Part A. It actually eats the bodily fluid. So I'm just gonna throw an N95 respirator on, so I can have just a little bit of protection over my mouth. I'm not breathing all that extra dust in. need a new blade. Turn, you little devil.
Did it again!
I'm gonna fucking electrocute myself. My hands are vibrating. Trying not to get dirty before I go to Sunny's for some ribs. So we found a stash of bottles, which I'll grab. Here, we knew he had a drug problem, but I think it just escalated into actually selling it. This guy here, you just set on top. Don't ask me how I know this. You put it on the bottle and you crimp it shut, so that way it seals. So I have a feeling that he was actually selling this stuff.
Oh, bloody hell. Let me get a red bag.
I laugh at myself because it's the only way I can get through these kinds of jobs. So me being goofy and silly and happy all the time is rather annoying, even for myself, but it's the only way I can get through these jobs. So if I have to deal with my own annoying self, I am so sorry for you, because you guys don't have to deal with me.
So I'm gonna play with Kyle's butt hair while he does this.
That's my lower back. Stupid.
That's still your butt hair. So what we're doing right now is, well, Kyle's completely destroying the wall, but what I'm going to be doing is the base plate, or some people call it seal plate.
Not kick plate.
Yeah, not kick plate. Is laid down first, and then a bolt is shot through it to keep it as straight as possible and as level as possible. Then the wall is built on top of that. So it's really bloody in there. So what we're trying to do is take the Sawzall and go underneath it and cut the bolt to release it, and then we're going to slip a brand new piece of wood in there to stabilize this wall. So we're having trouble because the Sawzall tends to overheat after it gets pretty hot, because you're going through so many pieces of not only wood, but you're going through really thick nails that he's trying to dislodge right now. Hold my beer. I'm going to take over.
You're stupid.
Out of the way. Hurry, boy. That's how shit's done.
I already got you, baby. I got. Oh, no, hold on.
It's been too long since I've had sex. Christ.
Well, we just found a screwdriver. Get it in there. Oh, God, you're good at that.
I know. Oh, that's also what she said. Okay. You want to see it goes all the way up?
Well, yeah.
With the screwdriver.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna attempt to do is I'm going to just attempt to bend and put pressure.
Why don't we just unscrew it? Or, well, I guess we would need the drill to make that efficient.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just attempt to hold pressure in one spot.
That's not bio.
No, oh.
Ah, there we go.
So
lift it.
Ow! That just goes right through my fingers when you hammer metal. Yes.
There we go.
I do. I see it.
Oh, you see it now?
Yep, and I'm working it.
Okay.
Watch your fingers. You know what? Yes.
All right. This is why.
So it trapped.
You don't leave
And it traveled.
the plate in there, because the smell will never go away.
Ever.
And there's a ton of blood that's still under here. So we got to cut another piece, but the bolt, you see that bolt? This part right here.
We actually snapped it, is what we did.
It's thick as shit. And
They're about 3 inches. Aren't they like 3 inches?
they're long.
3.5,
and
4
thick,
inches.
so
Long.
we still got another part to cut, and I think we're gonna have to take more out of this side of the wall.
Your hair is so crazy right now.
I know. That's what happens when you work for a living, right?
That's why I just started shaving my head. So the bolt here is what holds it down into the ground. This was all underneath the sill plate, and it traveled down and into the other side.
Blood. Public service announcement. Do not kill yourself next to a load-bearing wall.
Don't kill yourself, period. At all. It's not...
Yeah, what he said. Don't do it. But if you do it, please don't do it next to a load-bearing wall. Don't do it.
Just doing it is not an option, okay? Like, no.
Someone ate this broom.
Probably Benji.
Yeah.
Benji totally ate the broom.
Obviously, we know that's blood. We're gonna have to get the towel chipper.
You're gonna...
See the nail in the corner? It's this guy right here.
Yep, and I got another one
Yep.
right here.
Okay. There we go. Now we can see exactly where they are.
Crowbar?
Oh, wait. Oh, it's this. Sorry. There's one right here. I hate these. Yeah, lifted the wood up and left a fucking nail in. Like this?
Yeah.
There you go, look. This is why we just did all this work pulling this out, because all that blood was sitting underneath there. So, if you try to cut corners and don't do that, you're gonna have a horrendous smell.
Yeah, you'll be
But
probably a week.
these are such a bitch to get out because they're so thick, and we literally have to cut them with a metal blade. So now we got to treat the floor. So let's have it back
that's
first.
a lot.
Yeah, let's have it back. Clean it up, and then I can start applying.
Give me just 1 second. Or is it hang loose? No.
I don't know.
Shocker? Here, do the shocker.
How about that?
Okay, I'll do the shocker, you do that.
Just trying to clean up a little bit. Getting to the tail end of the job here. While he's finishing up the very end of it, I'm trying to put our tools away. And kind of get a head start. We did a lot of construction demo, so there's like drywall dust and stuff that I want to sweep up here and just kind of clean up after myself. Leave it cleaner than I found it. I got Benji, his looks like flea meds, preventative medicine. So we're good to go with Benji. Go back to the office and see how Benji and Sammy are getting along.
But we were listening to our tummies. There's no reason that family needs to see that. Especially since the father's coming in today. Sponge me. They're gonna have to repaint
anyway,
but this at least they'll never have to see what was written on the wall before he shot himself. We do everything in our power to make sure that family doesn't see anything that happened moments before.
I just happened to find the matching color to the bedroom, so I'm gonna touch that up so that it looks like it was never there.
Let's do this.
You wanna go grab the kills? Dad is coming in tonight, and I don't want him to see that that was written on there. So I'm gonna try to blend it in. I'm not a very good painter, so. So now what we're gonna do after this is we're gonna seal the floor just in case any residual odor or anything. This really helps block it. and just keep the subfloor clean. We've already disinfected it. We've cleaned it up, and we're just gonna seal it now. And hopefully this will have dried and look halfway decent, because I'm not a good painter.
So all I'm doing is just sealing everything up. So that way it looks a little better since the father is on the way. What was the time frame? An hour? 2 hours?
For what?
For the father?
Tonight.
Tonight, so this will be completely dry for when he comes in. I'm trying to just put on an even coat all the way around. It's gonna look so much better for him.
That you play where you...
Twister.
Twister, yeah, I feel like we play Twister.
You're gonna have to climb over the bed, lipstick. Alright, we are all done on this job today. 2 days, 2 people. The first day we filmed ourselves. The second day we had our amazing videographer back. So she was super, super bossy, explaining exactly how to do stuff. And it was all for you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified of the next episode.
That's it, guys. On to the next.
Do you ever wonder what happens when the police leave? Crime scene cleaners are private companies that handle the cleanup after the police are gone. Spalding Decon is one of the nation's largest cleanup companies, handling the aftermath of homicides, suicides, decompositions, hoarding, and much more. These are our stories.
Double unintended death and a fentanyl overdose. 2 milligrams, which is equivalent to 2 grains of salt, is a lethal dosage to an average adult.
The police actually took this chain off of one of the bodies.
One day, a young Redditor found himself the victim of a horrible accident. An accident that rendered him incapacitated for an extremely long period of time, with both arms broken. This has a lot of obvious consequences. Can't feed yourself, can't play video games, can't wipe your own ass. But another thing that might not be immediately obvious, can't jerk off. This guy's a Redditor. He goes from popping off 2 loads a day to 0. And it affects his mood, so he lashes out at his family. Eventually, his parents figure out what's going on, and they come up with a solution. His mother jerks him off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Reddit broken arm story. This video is sponsored by, you guessed it, Raid Shadow Legends. And I'll have you know that it is officially Raid Shadow Legends' 2nd anniversary. To celebrate, let's take a look at how far Raid has come throughout the years. In that time, it's become the most played RPG in the US, with over 1 million players daily.